Guys, I still don't have my earbuds cord, so I have to use my speakers. So I hope it's not that loud. Because Haru chewed through the cord. Look at this. Check this out. Like, the thing is, I can take these out and then, like, plug it into a new cord, but, yeah, I ordered a cord, but it's still not in here yet, so I gotta wait. Good job, Haru. I don't know if I would say good job, but, you know, yeah, I don't know why he wanted to chew on those, but, I mean, whatever he decides to, I suppose. Thank you for the 47 months, Cancer. Thank you. Thank you for the 55 months, Howco. Thank you. Yeah, so today I'm streaming early because how do I know it's Haru and not another cat? Because no one else was in here but Haru. So, yeah, today I'll be watching the Path of Exile 2, a trailer, teaser thing. So, that's in like 6 minutes. I was gonna stream earlier, but you know, like I just kind of woke up and then I was like, oh god, I gotta get ready. So yeah, yeah, maybe I should get myself some coffee, maybe some food. I don't know. It's probably pretty early. You guys are probably like, why is she on so early? Trust me, I wouldn't really stream this early unless if I had something. How long do I need to co-stream for? I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's like almost the whole thing. Unless if there's like a, yeah, up until like the Q&A. I don't think they're making me watch Q&A. I think it's up to the Q&A per usual. Let me open their stream. Shizuku? I think it's just the hair, but her hair's shorter. And also, I curled this part, but it didn't curl out. But, yeah, why the frick does this keep going with second monitor? It's gonna make me ultra mad. Path of Exile. What the freaking Florpington? Oh my god, I just checked my whole, like, side thing and everyone is playing, TFT. Thank you for the 28 months, young. Thank you. Bello, hello everybody. Maybe I should get this on my screen while I go get some food. My hair is really messy right now because I like just woke up and I got ready maybe like an hour ago, or like actually it's been like 50 minutes since I like woke up. But let me put this on here. Looks good, thank you. Oh my god, I almost put on the wrong thing. And I got the soda. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it on here and you guys can look at this for a while, but I'm gonna get some coffee. And I'm not really that hungry, but yeah, be right back.
It's Dorman, right?
Yeah?
Then Dorman, shut your damn mouth. Ugh, why do I always get stuck with these rookies?
Do this.
Hey, the kid's got a mean cleave. Give him a chance.
Is this better? You guys can hear everything, right? Ow!
Sullen!
Thank you for the 30 months, Derek. Thank you. Hi,
A
Velvet
mean
Crow.
cleave, Captain? Rookie can't
Hey,
even lift
Captain.
his own sword. Captain Oren? Captain?
Nope.
It's here. Rain! Send the signal!
Is the audio good for you? Or should I turn it down?
Blade up!
Come on! I'm ready! I'm ready!
A little bit loud, it's fine. Here, I'll turn it down a little bit because I can hear like.
It's a man!
There you go.
No.
It's me. Ow! Wait, I promise I'm friendly. I'm feeling pretty chill today. I'm a freaking chill guy. Dude, yesterday I was on Twitch and I saw everybody's title had to do with a chill guy. Just a chill guy, just a chill guy doing this, just a chill guy doing that. Thank you for 36 months, Pinguini, thank you. But the thing is, I've seen the chill guy since like a month ago.
Captain!
I'm surprised that like
Captain!
there's so much of it right now. Yeah, I'm kind of chill like that. God! Just a little bit of shock therapy, you know?
Stop! Humanity isn't ready.
On your feet, lad.
Thanks.
The captain,
You'll be fine. Here.
Oh wait, I can open the thing that they gave me. POE sent me something. Yeah, they gave me a box.
What is it?
Yeah. Well, goodbye. That was short. What is it? Death. Surprise!
Get the body.
Stop. Mortal. It can still be contained. You don't know what you have unleashed.
Your kind no longer control this world. We cannot destroy your body, it's true. But you will watch as we destroy everything you have built.
Uh-oh.
Bind him!
This is not gonna bode well for this
my
guy.
child.
I'm feeling it.
I'll make sure you can eat your fill.
Oh, what a lovely being in the back. Surely it doesn't turn into foot, feet. Oh my god, it freaking moved. Cinema. Path of Exile 2 chills.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director
Hi.
on Path of Exile 2. Now, Path of Exile 2 is going into early access in around 2 weeks on December the 6th. But even though it's early access, this isn't just some small taste.
FPS
The game
notes.
is huge.
Path of Exile 2 is not
In
an
this live
FPS
stream,
game,
we're
it's
going to be introducing everything you can expect.
MMO ARPG.
So without further ado, let's
Hello,
roll
everybody.
the gameplay trailer.
Wait, I literally have...
Existence
Where did I
is a
put it
thing
up?
of beauty. Precious, but
gave me Valda's puzzle
Life
box.
and death
I was
are
like, what?
mortal enemies.
I was like, where did I?
Bound
There was like a
to
box,
one
and I was like, where it was sent from. I was like,
The
what did I
continuation
order
of
this from
life
this? But
must be protected
send me this,
at all
but I
costs.
haven't opened it yet. Like I have to solve it. Chill.
Some have said my methods are brutal.
Give me a second.
To this, I say, there can be no salvation without sacrifice.
Yeah. Foil life spring voiding. Wait, I fought that thing in the playtest. But guys, when I was playtesting this game, I saw a lot of other people not have issues with it, but when I was playtesting it, it kept kicking me out. Because I was sitting next to Kobe and he was having the same issue, but everyone else was able to advance, but it would literally kick me off like every hour or something, and I was like, oh, well, okay, I guess I'll just not play.
We are faced with the end.
Wait,
and
I
will
opened this
do
finally.
what I must.
For the... Wait, what the heck? In collaboration with Puzzle Potato, escape room in a box. Thank you for the 10 months, SSJ Cleo. Thank you. Ooh, wait, oh my god. See this? Wait, do I have to put it? I'm scared. I don't want to like break anything. Do I
Those
just
who
like
obsess with death,
slowly have this come out?
let them
I'm
soon
afraid, or do I have to
acquainted
solve
with
this?
it.
Now, as you just saw, even in early access, Path of Exile 2 is a
Do I have to
big
do
game.
something with this?
It's actually
or
been
do I take
5
this
years
out?
since we announced
Scared.
PoE 2.
Thank you for the
And over
22
that time,
months
we've
for
revealed a
shipping.
lot.
Thank you.
But it's been in
It
bits
took
and pieces.
people 5 minutes
It's
to
pretty hard
open
to keep
this.
track of it all. So today we're going to do a full rundown of all the content that will be
Wait,
available at
what?
the start of early access. Classes, character progression systems, and for the first time, a
That
full
was-
overview of the end game. This is going to be a big one, so get comfortable. For 20 years, Rayclass
Was it
has
because
been
of the
free
tape
from
at the
any
bottom?
sources of corruption.
I mean, hey, dude,
But the
tape
Count
is
of
annoying.
Ogum, tempted by
What's this?
promises of power, intends to
Wait for the
harness it
30
once more.
months. You like
The
saying thank
dead
you.
are rising, monsters are mutating, and madness is spreading.
It had 2 pieces of
Under
tape
the dark
actually.
influence of
See,
corruption,
1
the
and
Count
2.
doles out sentences of death to any who would question him.
To those explorers who would follow in my footsteps, if you're
And this
reading
is
this,
where you
and you
find
surely
yourself
find
at the
yourself
start of
enthralled
PoE
to
2.
the wanderings and realms that we call the
Explore
Atlas.
the dark
dangers are
forests of
unimaginable,
Ogum.
but the treasures
Traverse the
are...
barren plain.
Uh-oh. Is that me?
Of the
Okay,
Vesteri
no, it's
Desert,
them. Thank God.
and
It's... Uh-oh.
delve into the jungle ruins of Utsal, an ancient Val city. There are challenges
Those that are just not keen but lucky as well may discover something incredible. Uh-oh. Mainstream.
monsters.
I mean, yeah, everyone's saying F
hidden
in the
rooms,
chat, so... It ain't
lost
me.
camps and treasures, roaming merchants.
Oh my
and
god,
of
wait, there's
course,
so
unique
many
bosses.
people watching
No
this.
two
Wait, that's
areas are the same.
insane.
It falls to you to track down the seed of corruption, the source of all this devastation.
Holy
On the way,
frick, look
you'll
at all
face
the
fearsome
primers in the
monsters,
chat.
meet strange
I guess
characters,
she says my
forge
mouse.
unlikely
Oh, that's
bonds,
fine.
and
You can
uncover
keep it.
lost civilizations.
I don't use that mouse. Or, I mean, I
But first,
brought
you need
it
to pick a
over.
class. Now, early access will initially have
I
6
was
classes
just using
available.
my mouse.
Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes
The
in and out of
attack.
combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum. Like all classes in PoE 2, you'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix
He has
and
a
match
minion
different
mouse.
combos.
No, I mean, I'm using this one right now, but,
To get
guys, let's,
new
honestly,
skills, you'll first need to
it's
find skill gems.
not PoE, it's
Using
me.
a skill gem will
Oh my
open the gem finder menu,
god!
which shows all the active skills available in PoE 2.
It's okay, I'm pretty sure...
You can choose an existing.
There's... Sorry, that just made me laugh because the music just came out of nowhere. love that. Honestly, I love that they have something for this. They're so well prepared. Puzzle box time. Wait, do I have to, I'm afraid of, like, breaking this, because it's, like, made out of wood. And I'm afraid to, like, you know. What mouse is it? It is the Razer what is it? The Razer Viper Mini, wireless. The Razer Fart, yeah. But yeah, the mouse that I left at Aria's place was the Hottie S Plus. I really like that mouse, but honestly, I feel like, can I unpause and pause? Yeah, the audio is so weird. Okay, there we go. Let Path of Exile know you want to drop it and collaborate. Yeah, should I knock? Hello, everybody. Please do it. No, I mean, they're not gonna see it. Knock might fix it. Yeah, I think it might make it worse. I'm afraid of breaking this, guys. What do I... Can I even move this? Is the question. Bello! Can I get this puzzle out of the box, first of all? Hold on, let me... I want to take this out of the box, but... Oh! Oh, they're going back to it.
Power tends to harness. There are 21 active skills for quarter staves, so this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing from pack to pack, spewing where you find yourself at the start of PoE 2.
Thank you for the sub with Prime, EV.
Explore the dark forests of Ogre, traverse the
first.
barren plains of the Vesteri Desert, and delve into the jungle ruins of
Okay, there you
Utsal,
go.
an ancient Val
I was
city.
afraid of breaking it. But look at the
There are
outside, this
challenging
is so
monsters,
freaking cool.
hidden rooms,
Okay, there we go.
lost camps and treasures, roaming merchants, and of course, unique bosses. No two areas
There's a
are the same.
battery in this?
It falls to you to track down the seed of corruption, the source of all this devastation.
Wait, I can turn
On the
something
way, you'll
in
face
here.
fearsome monsters,
Oh my freaking
meet
gosh.
strange
Like
characters,
the bottom.
forge unlikely bonds, and uncover lost
I just
civilizations.
felt something move. What just clicked?
But
Oh, it's
first,
a
you'll need to pick a
start.
class.
Ah!
Now, early
Something
access
just
will initially
injected
have
out of
6
nowhere,
classes
okay.
available. Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum.
Okay, I'll watch this.
Like all classes
before
in
I,
PoE 2, you'll want to
try
use a
this.
wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos. To get new skills, you will first need to find skill gems. Using a skill gem will
Need
open the
my
gem
coffee.
counting menu, which shows all the active skills
know what class
available
I
in
wanna
PoE 2.
play?
You can
What
choose
did
an
I try
existing
out?
skill
I
to
think I
level
tried
up,
out 2
or choose to
classes.
engrave a new one. Since
Honestly,
this is a level 7 skill gem,
I think
even
I
if you
have
pick a
brain
new skill, it
fart
will immediately
memory
be level
because
7.
I don't remember what
so
I
there's
played.
no
I think I
harm in
played the
trying out
mage
something new.
class.
The monk
Question mark.
primarily uses the quarterstaff.
Did I do ranger?
There are
I
3
don't freaking
skills of
remember.
martial arts: lightning, ice,
I actually have dementia.
and wind. But don't think you have to stick to just one.
Am I
The best
well?
combos
Nah,
are
I'm
going to
freaking
involve
chill.
mixing
That's
elements
what I
of all
am.
3. Let's try killing palm. Like many monk skills, this can be used to quickly take advantage of a specific situation. If there's an enemy on low life, you can use killing palm to dash to them and kill them instantly. This will provide
Anyone
a power
else gonna
charge.
watch the
Then we can use a different
arcane?
skill to
Wait,
consume
actually, I
that
should
power
mention
charge for a
that.
much
Sorry.
more devastating attack.
Path of Exile 2
The
so
monk
freaking
also has
awesome.
powerful combo skills. Tempest Bell, for example, is a skill that places a giant resonating bell.
What is wrong with me?
Hitting
Well,
the
I'm
bell causes
excited
it to
for the
ring,
last
dealing
part.
damage to all enemies around it. You can also do things like freeze or
This
shock
one's
the bell,
sponsored.
which will add elemental damage
Hey, I
to the
didn't mention a
strikes.
game. I just mentioned a
The
show.
monk also has a variety of abilities to empower his staff. If an enemy is close to being stunned,
Like
you can
if I
use
said,
staggering
hey,
palm to
anyone
punch them down.
watching
After that, any attack you do will shoot out
The
wind projectiles.
Office, like,
There are
Would they
21
care?
active
Nah.
skills for quarterstaves, so this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing from pack to pack, spewing projectiles and obliterating screens of enemies with huge combo attacks. Now, if you like a style of melee that's a little slower but hits much harder, then the warrior is for you. He
That
pounds
is
the
not
ground
for
with
me.
big chunky attacks and can shrug off the hits of small enemies with large amounts of armor. Even though the mace
Have I
slams are
watched
slow,
it? No, I've
you
actually
never
never
lose
watched
control.
The Office. I'm pretty
Longer
sure I've
attacks can be
seen it like
retargeted
on
as
my
you go.
friends'
And if you
TVs,
find
but
yourself
I've
committed
never
to a long
watched it
attack,
myself.
you can dodge roll out of it at any time. Among the skill option for maces,
Among.
you'll find a variety
They
of
said
slams,
among.
fire attacks, war cries,
Oh my
and shield
freaking
skills.
chills.
Here, I'm going to slam the ground, rending it apart with lines of fire. Any slam skill will then cause these fissures to erupt with lava. I can even run through them with a skill
fire.
like
I mean, I've
Stampede
heard
to do
it's
huge
good.
amounts of damage.
It has a lot of episodes. I know I've
The
just
warrior
seen it on
can
my
also
friends'
use war
streams
cries, which can
or not
empower your
streams.
next skill.
On my friends'
Seismic Cry,
TVs
for
because they
example,
just
will
leave it
double
on for
any
like
slams
background
from the
noise.
next attack. The Stampede counts as a slam, so I can double that for even more craziness. If you want to go a little faster and be a little more defensive, equip a shield. In PoE 2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front, even spells.
Chills.
While holding up your shield, your stun meter will build as you take damage, so be careful. If it reaches 100%, your stance will break and you will be vulnerable.
Those monsters I don't like. The ones
Some
with the
enemies
long
also
legs.
have unblockable
They
attacks, which
freaking
are
me
indicated
out.
by this red flash. If you see one of these coming, make sure to dodge out of the way. Using a shield also gives you access to shield skills, like Shield Charge, which allows you to charge towards enemies and stun them.
I like legs.
While
You like
charging,
those
you're also
monster
blocking the whole
legs?
time, so you have full damage immunity from the front. The warrior also has access to totems. Some totems have built-in abilities, like Shockwave Totem, which can be placed to stun nearby enemies and trigger aftershocks like those from the earthquake. But you can also
There's
get
so many like
ancestral warrior
particle
totems, which
effects
allow
in
you to
this.
use any slam
I'm
skill in
so
your
cool.
repertoire.
Thanks, Derpy Derp.
This is a meta skill, which means that it's a skill you can put other skills into. I can take a slam like Sunder and socket it into my ancestral warrior totem. Now when I summon him, he'll sit there and slam the monsters from a distance.
You are tall and not
There are
bald.
20
Wow,
active
thanks,
skills for
Kulat.
maces,
Why is
so there's a
everyone
lot
so
more to
nice
try out.
today?
But by endgame, you're going to be dropping
Totem
damage from the
Slam
sky,
confirmed.
moving fearlessly into combat,
looks
and
pretty neat,
separating the very
actually.
earth you stand on.
But I don't know if
Time
the
for some
warrior's
ranged
more my
attacks.
steed.
The ranger is primarily about the bow.
I'm short and
We want to
bald.
make sure that she feels
Well,
agile as well.
first of all,
In
one
PoE
part of
2, you
your
can shoot
thing
while
is
moving.
wrong.
Combined with all
Clearly,
the
I'm
skills
not
the ranger
bald.
has that allow you to jump
You
around,
see this
you'll
hair
have a lot of mobility
that
in
will
combat.
probably fall off in a couple of years? Not
Bow
bald, by
skills
the
have
way.
a variety of lightning, poison, ice, and physical attacks. Lightning attacks bounce around
Aga.
between targets.
Speaking of
You can also
Aga,
stick lightning arrows
I was
in the ground
watching
which explode
Squeaks
when hit by the
yesterday,
bouncers,
and he
or
was playing
electrocute
like a
enemies
flight
to take them out of
simulator
combat.
game. But he wasn't on a plane,
Ice
he
attacks
was
allow you to slow
walking.
and
And
freeze
I
enemies
think
to
I
keep them away
watched him
from you.
like walk up a
Using
mountain.
poison not only
And
can
I
you
was like,
slowly
what is
damage
he
your enemies from
doing?
afar, but also grow some
He's like torturing
interesting
himself.
plants.
Oh,
With
because
21 bow skills and all the
plain.
mobility and combo tools the ranger has, you can take advantage of every
this
situation.
looks like you are a
By in-game,
typical
you'll be creating
Diablo
hundreds
game
of
type
arrows,
game.
be they
Sorry,
falling
not
from the
sorry.
sky, bouncing around between enemies, or
Well, the
spraying
thing
out
is,
tornadoes.
Diablo sucks, and this
You
game
might have
rocks,
noticed
so.
in the bottom left of the screen that the flask slots look a little
Diablo
different. In PoE 2,
made by
you have one
Blizzard.
dedicated life flask slot and one mana flask slot.
Yeah, is there more I have to
Flasks
say
gain
about that
charges
one?
as you kill enemies, and typically
Rip
allow
Diablo
you to heal 6
sponsor.
or
I
7
think
times
even
if
if
they're full.
Diablo gave me a
But
sponsor,
that's
I
not
would
the
never
only thing
take
you can
it,
use
'cause
charges for. Charms are a
I mean,
new
I don't
item type that will
care
automatically
about-
defend you from various debuffs or
I
damage
don't care
types.
about it.
Having trouble with getting frozen? Equip a thawing charm. When it's fully charged, it will make you immune to freeze for 3 seconds if you get frozen. To recharge them, just kill more monsters. You can gain more slots for charms by upgrading your belt. The mercenary wields a crossbow that can be loaded with different ammo types, offering versatility, power, and mobility. All classes in Path of Exile 2 can be controlled with WASD, which makes this class play exactly like a shooter. For the crossbow,
Oh yeah, I
you will
guess
find skills that work like
that
shotguns,
kind of feels like an FPS
sniper
using
rifles, assault
WASD,
rifles,
but
and even grenade launchers. But not only that, there are a wide
I really want
variety
to
of
do
more
like a
interesting
poison
elemental
build or
ammos too.
something, a little stinky build.
It's very fast to switch between ammo types, so long as you already have them loaded, which makes the mercenary able to combo abilities together for devastating effect.
Ooh, I don't know if they're gonna release or they're gonna show
Use
you
glacial
what
bolt to
they
create walls
showed
of ice
us
to separate enemies,
during the
then switch to
playtest,
fragmentation
but there
rounds
is
to
a cool
explode the
little
ice dealing
addition.
massive AoE damage.
a new little like
If I
quality
come
of
across
life
an
thing that
armored
they
enemy,
added, and I
I can
think
use
it's super
armor
cool,
piercing
but
rounds to break their armor, and then high velocity rounds to take them down.
see if they
Or
announce it
perhaps
or
I could
not.
fire a gas grenade to poison enemies before detonating the cloud with an explosive shot for massive damage. If you want to call in some suppressing fire, you can summon artillery
Aga.
blasters. These have a minimum
Freaking
range,
Aga,
so you'll
man.
want to prepare
Aga's
your
like
position
a-
carefully before moving in. There are 22
The game is
active
actually
skills
very
for crossbows.
pretty.
By in-game, you'll be calling
Like, it's really
destruction
vibrant.
down
Like,
from
I
the
feel
sky
like
as you riddle the
PoE
battlefield with grenades
or
and
Path
deafen
of
your
Exile
enemies with your
1
automatic
was like
shotgun. If you're
kind
looking to
of
take
more
a backseat
dull,
and let your
but
minions do the work,
the
then
effects
witch should
in
be
this
your
game
choice.
in Path of
She
Exile
can
2 are a
call
lot more
forth hordes of
vibrant.
undead monsters to fight for her while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate
Yeah, it
her
pops out
enemies.
a lot more than Path of Exile 1.
Occult skills are some of the most varied in the game, with skeletons, noxious spells,
Was never my
specialty
aesthetic.
minions,
Yeah, I'm
curses,
gonna
and
be
sacrificial
honest.
magic.
It took
Before we
me
talk about minions, we'll have to
3
talk about a
tries
new
to
resource
get
in Path of
into
Exile
Path
2
of
called
Exile.
Spirit. This
Like,
is a spirit gem, which allows you to pick from a
Every
range of
single
persistent
try
skills.
I had, I was like,
All
God,
classes
I
have a
really
variety
don't
of
like
these skills
what I'm
which can
doing.
add some very interesting
But also, I
effects,
think it's because
like
my
Arctic
friends
Armor,
gave
which
me a
does
build
cold
where I
damage to
didn't
enemies
really
that hit
like.
you, or
But
Raging
if you
Spirits, which
literally
summon
could get
fiery
through the
skulls
finish
each time
line
you
of
cast a
like
fire
doing the
spell.
campaign,
For
then
the
you'll
witch,
have a lot
though,
of fun.
we'll want to be using our spirit to
Why
create
did I keep
permanent
trying? Because
minions.
I had nothing
These
to
minions will be
do, and my
revived
friends would
automatically
all
when
be
they
playing
die,
PoE,
so you don't have
I
to worry
just
about
feel like,
resummoning them
okay,
all the time.
might as well try it.
Here, I'm using the skill screen to
Path of Exile
allocate
2
which
is not
minions I would
available
like
yet.
in my horde. You can see the spirit cost of each one.
Gave you the worst
Skeletal
build so I quit.
warriors are
Yeah, I
cheap,
think
but
my
weak.
friends gave me
Useful
like
for tanking
a.
damage and distracting enemies.
They
But I
made me
want more
play
heavy hitters in my army, so
a
I'm going to
melee
unsummon
class,
some
and
warriors
I
and instead
really
add
it's like a
skeletal
slam
archers.
build or something. And I
Permanent
really
minions
did
come with
not
special
like it
active abilities
leveling
called
up
command
either,
skills.
so I was just like,
You can order these guys
this
to
is
detonate your own
depressing.
minions for even more damage and area of effect. If you want a bigger
Let's
army,
start over
you'll need a
like, uh-oh,
scepter.
can we have this
This new
squeaks
weapon type is
emote?
imbued with even more spirit,
Let me
allowing
see.
you to summon even more friends. And if you want an even bigger army than that, you can take advantage of corpses to summon true hordes of minions. But what can a witch do
Why
while an
won't? Oh,
army
I'm
is at
not
work?
logged in.
Well,
Okay.
she has a range of chaos spells to spread disease amongst your enemies, or bone skills to impale them. Or, you know, you could curse them to make them weaker so your horde can take them
Sure,
down.
you guys can have this squeaks
There are
emote.
25 active occult skills. By the end game, you will be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming everything in
But
its path. The sorceress bends the elements
Oh,
to
the
her
thing
will,
that made me
using
like
them to
Path of
unleash
Exile
devastation on her
was
foes.
after I
This
finished
classic
leveling
spellcaster
and
weaves a
got
flurry of elemental magic from afar.
out of the campaign.
The elemental skills
I mean,
have
my
everything you
favorite
might
thing, or
expect
like I
and
actually
more.
looked at the build and I was like,
Fireballs,
oh,
icy
it was
explosions, lightning storms, you get the
cast
idea.
on crit ice nova.
Each spell is unique and has
and
many different
I
ways to
freaking
build
love
and
that.
combo
It was-
with others, even between
Everything
different elements.
exploded on my screen, and
For
having
example,
like MTX
Flame
on, it was
Wall
just
conjures
like.
a burning line that not only
I mean,
deafens
it's not
enemies,
good for your
also
frames, but it
empowers
was really
all
pretty to
projectiles
look
that
at.
pass through it.
So
If you
yeah.
place a wall and fire lightning sparks through it, they'll gain extra fire damage.
That's what made me like.
It's a good
Path of
idea to take
Exile.
advantage of the ability to automatically swap weapons when you use certain skills.
I mean, I have
Having
XP,
a
but
special staff with
Pregnant
bonuses to
Sonic is
fire
out of the
skills
question. Well,
and another with bonuses to lightning
yeah,
skills can
'cause
really power up a combo
They're
like this.
very different.
The sorceress can also take advantage of powerful trigger gems. For example, you could grab the Cast on Ignite gem and
Good
use it with
morning, Michael.
Firestorm. As you ignite enemies,
Cast
a
on
counter will go up
Ignite?
in the top left corner. When it's full, a Firestorm will automatically
Sonic
be cast to
Heat,
the enemy that was
perhaps?
ignited.
Dude, I showed Arya
There
like
are 25 active elemental skills.
a
By in-game, you'll
slideshow
be firing off
on,
projectiles left and right.
and it was
as you
like
rain
a
down
like cute
elemental
little
storms on your
slideshow, and then at
foes.
the end it just surprised you with
Now,
Sonic
those
feet,
are
and
the
I
characters
showed her,
that will be
and she
available
just
at the
thought it
start
was
of
the
early
funniest thing
access.
ever.
But we will be adding 6
Oh
more
no,
character
what's the- oh
classes with
no.
just as many skills and options as these. There's a lot more to come. There's one more important thing to mention about skills. Even though we talk about them
I'm
as
pretty
belong
sure
to
she
each
showed it
class,
on
in
stream.
reality there are no
She showed it
restrictions.
on Pokey
You can
stream,
use
actually. I
all these
remember 'cause I
skills
was
on any
watching.
class so long as you have the attributes. For example, a poison ranger might want to try out using occult curses to increase her poison damage. Or a monk might want to trigger elemental ice walls to use with his glacial cascade combo. The possibilities for cross-class combos are practically
It's like
unlimited.
6.
We're looking
Have
forward
you
to what kind
ever
of things you
played
guys
Path of
might
Exile?
find. Now, Path of Exile is a game known for build customization.
I mean, I'll
and we
see
haven't
what-
even scratched the surface of what is
I
possible
mean, I
yet.
say I want to try poison, but
So let's talk about
there's
support
there's a
gems.
funny thing. It's like poison clouds. It's like a
Path of
fart
Exile 2
build,
has
and
a
I want
system
to
of
see if I
support
could do a
gems that can be
fart build,
combined with
but
your active skills to dramatically change the way they work. If you find a support gem, then right-clicking it will open up
We'll
this
see.
screen. Here you will find a variety of recommended
The skill tree
support
on this
gems for
game
each of your
scares you?
skills that you can pick
the
between.
beautiful thing
For
about
example,
this game
this is a
is
multiple
that
projectile support
you don't
gem
even
and can be
need
used to add multiple projectiles
to
to any
worry
skill.
about your skill tree because
Normally,
if you
when you
follow
fire
a
a
build,
grenade,
someone
it'll
already
look
did
like
it for
this.
you. So
But if we had multiple
until you
projectiles,
play
then
the
you get
game
3
long
of them.
enough to like figure it out.
Once you have the gem, you can also freely
but
move it
you
between
don't
any
need
of
to
the
know
skills
what
in your character.
most things do
If you
in
want to have a
skill
multi-shot
tree.
sniper rifle instead,
And
then simply
the
move
nice
the gem
thing is
over to
that
your high velocity
everyone-
round skill. Generally
Everyone
speaking,
in this
if it sounds
community
like
is
a
actually
support gem
pretty
should work with a
nice.
skill, then
So
it
like
will
if you're
work.
playing like a really
it's a good
niche
idea to
build and
experiment.
you see someone like
Note
on
that
the
you can only have
leaderboard,
one of each support
if
gem
you
on your
whisper
character,
them, they
so you'll
usually
want to think
actually
carefully about which
answer
supports
you
can
back.
be used best with each skill for maximum damage. Now, if you want to stick to the recommendations,
have a question,
you should have a
they'll,
perfectly
like-
good time. But if you want to experiment a
they'll
bit
give you an
more,
answer if they're
then
not, like,
uncheck that
AFK or busy
recommended
doing
button,
something.
and you can see the full list
Yeah,
of
the link
supports that
system
will
looks
work
really
with your
clean.
skill. There are hundreds of support gems to
You
choose
use
from,
YouTube builds.
and
I
even
mean,
we
yeah,
don't know the
YouTube's
results of all
like
the possible
a,
ways these
not
can
a bad place
interact.
to, like, look at stuff.
Each skill can have up to 5 supports socketed into it, and if you're clever, you can
A
come
lot
up
of
with some
people
pretty
have
interesting
like
ideas.
guides or like
Now,
full
all
on
of this is
videos
just
on,
scratching
like,
the surface.
how to level with
You can
the
make
class
frost
and stuff.
vortexes, break people's armor, make minions
PoE
explode,
players
make
are chill
skills
guys.
repeat,
No, they are.
make enemies set each other on fire, cull enemies, or pin them to the
They're
ground.
freaking chill guys. I mean, I feel like most
Supports let you drastically
Path of
change
Exile
the
players are
behavior of your
wages.
skills and create your own unique build, or at least follow someone's OP build. So,
They're
speaking of
wages,
builds,
and
let's
they-
talk about one of the most iconic
they
Path
ask
of
for
Exile
days
systems,
off on
the passive
the
skill tree.
on the release
Yes, it's
day because they
huge.
all want to
There are
play.
over 1,500 nodes on there. Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first, but try not to be scared. There are lots of options, but at its core, it's pretty simple. Each
Tell them
level
that
you
his
get 1
build
point
skills
put
with
into the
Orbs
tree.
of Regret.
Each class starts at a different location, but they
Yeah,
all
the
share
tree
the
looks
same
really
tree.
nice. It's very
Around
pretty.
your section of the tree,
it
you will
looks
find
so like
relevant bonuses for your character.
it looks so
You should be
curvy.
safe in the knowledge that there aren't many wrong choices.
I mean,
here.
I don't mean that in
Almost
like
all
a
the starting
weird
nodes
way,
will be
but
useful
like
for your character in some
the
way.
past skill
But if
tree
you do
was
happen
more
to
like
make a
all
choice
the
you
lines
regret,
were like more
you'll be
straight.
able to
but
respec any nodes you've taken by spending a
it's
little
like,
bit of gold.
you know, you see like a bunch of shapes in this tree. It looks really nice.
Now, the tree is generally divided up into
It's more
clusters which have
dynamic,
similar themes.
not
In
voluptuous.
each cluster, you will find small
Not
nodes that give
curvy in
simple
the
bonuses
sense
like
where
increased damage.
I'm
but
not
the real power
objectifying
comes
the
from
skill tree,
notables.
okay?
Notables normally have much more interesting bonuses, and they tend to care a lot more about how
Do
your
not
build
let her
works
near
and
this
what skills
tree.
you're using. For example, in the mercenary
No,
area
I'm just
of the
saying it
tree,
looks nice.
this one gives a 25% chance for crossbow skills to not consume a bolt. And here's one that gives grenades a chance to blow up a second time. This one gives a chance for projectiles to rebound off terrain, as well as
Man,
giving
I
you
think I
some
can
pierce
block.
chance to make
Maybe I
that
should
more
move
likely.
myself. I think I'm
Note that even
blocking
though this is in the mercenary section, this would work with projectiles from all classes, so there are often reasons to go to different areas of the tree. In order to get between these clusters, you will generally have to allocate nodes in the attribute highways. Attribute nodes allow you to pick which attribute you would like to use, so it's very easy to get points for any attribute that your gear might need.
Are you
You
playing
can change
PoE
which
then you're a
attribute these nodes
nerd?
give you for half
Nothing
price
wrong with
at the
being a
respec
nerd. I
vendor.
feel like being a nerd is cool.
In addition to notables, you will also find
Because
even
when you're a
larger
nerd,
passives
at
called
least you have
keystones.
extensive knowledge
Keystones
about
have both an
something.
upside and a downside,
And what's wrong
often
with that?
require changing your
think
entire
it's
build
pretty
to
cool.
design around them. A great example is Giant's Blood, which allows you to wield two-hand weapons in a single hand, but doubles the attribute requirements of them. You can use a two-hand mace with a shield,
about
or even
geeks?
dual wield them.
I feel like they're in the same boat. They're like
Or how about
I mean, how
Mind
would
Over
you split
Matter,
it?
which makes all
Geeks
damage
are more
go
like
to your mana pool
enthusiasts? I
first
feel like that's
before
pretty
your life
cool.
pool, but you lose 50% of your mana regen. Skills
The
like these can be
fungus
tough to build
behemoth.
around, but if you're up for the challenge, they can be very rewarding. As we showed you earlier on the Sorceress, you can swap between weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills. One of the new features in Path of Exile 2's passive tree is that you can choose to have your passive tree change as you switch between weapon sets to take advantage
Oh.
of specific bonuses on the tree. For the
That's really
Sorceress,
nice,
you might want to change
actually.
between fire and lightning specialization. Or you could switch between one hand and a two-hand setup in order to be able to block boss attacks while following up with heavy hits from your bigger mace.
Oh my god.
Or perhaps you could have a full curse setup on your witch to debuff enemies before switching to a chaos degen build for maximum damage. If you want to stick with just one weapon set, you can just use these specialization points as bonus points to invest however you like, but creative players will find plenty of opportunities with this system. You
Creative
can get
player,
weapon
that's not
specialization
me.
points throughout the campaign from optional bosses and quests. For example, if I manage
There's
to
so
defeat
many
the
like
Crowbell,
bosses
I'll get a
and
weapon
mini bosses
specialization
in
book.
this game. I feel like
There are
it'd be
lots of
fun.
other permanent boosts available from the campaign too. On the map, you can see icons that indicate the many optional encounters you can find. Some of them have
The ones
permanent
that I've
character
seen so
boosts,
far are
and others
really-
have powerful
really cool.
items. If
Are
you're
there
having
girl
trouble getting past a
bosses?
boss, it might be a good idea to explore and see what you can find.
I don't think I've
For example,
seen
if
many,
you defeat
but
Galactor or the Remnant, you'll gain a permanent
There probably
increase
is
to
a
fire
couple.
resistance.
it looks
One
good.
of the
It
most
is really
important
good.
finds are spirit bonuses.
I mean,
you
the
can find
graphics
the first
are really
one here
nice.
in the canopy
I mean,
at
I don't
Act
really
1.
know what it looks like off.
Defeat the boss
Actually, I
in
mean,
this area
I've
to
played
acquire
it
a
before,
permanent
but
addition of spirit.
my monitor
The permanent
settings are
buffs
like
you gain from
really
Spirit are very
saturated,
powerful,
so it looks
and
really
every
pretty
class
on my
will find it
screen.
useful. So make sure you hunt down these
But I mean, when I
upgrades. There's
play
one in
tested, it
each
was also
act.
very pretty. So
Now we haven't even talked about the most
visual
important
clarity is
element
better,
of character
yeah.
progression: items. That's why we're all here, right? Items in Path of Exile can be broken down into
One
4 rarity
sealer.
groups: normal, magic, rare, and unique. One of the things you're going to want to do as you play through the campaign is upgrade the items you find, and you can do that with
is
currency
a
items.
waifu dating sim
An Orb
kind
of
of game?
Transmutation
No.
will allow you to upgrade a normal
Sadly,
item
it's
to a
not.
magic item with 1 mod.
Yeah, the new currency
You
looks
can
really
then
pretty.
apply an Orb of Augmentation
For
to
the
add a
art.
second mod, then use a Regal Orb
I
to
mean,
add a
you
third mod,
can
and upgrade it to a rare.
Pretend like in
Finally,
your head,
you can
I
use
guess.
some Exalted Orbs
you
to add
know?
more mods to your rare to a total of 6 mods. One of the things we think is really important is to make these options available to use as you play. All the items that add mods are much more common than they were in Path of Exile 1, so that you can use them throughout your campaign playthrough. We want you to find things on the ground that can be crafted into upgrades much more frequently. As well as making the drop rates on these items much more
you
common,
really think about it,
you
every
can
game
also
is
get
a
them by
waifu dating
disenchanting
sim?
unwanted gear at the magic item vendor. If you disenchant
I mean, if
magic
you really
items, you
put
can
your
build
mind
up to
to
an
it, I
orb of
guess.
transmutation.
The level
and by
of
disenchanting
delusion you're
rares, you
willing
can
to
build up
give
to regal orbs.
to put yourself into.
Another important
maybe.
area of crafting items in PoE 2 is sockets. Some items you find will have sockets that can have Ezomite runes placed in them that add more mods to the item. If I insert this glacial rune into my helmet, it will give extra cold resistance. This is a great way to solve problems that you have with your build, like resistances or damage. If you find socketed items that you
that's
don't have a
pretty
use
nice.
for, you can take them to the salvage bench in town to work towards an artificer's orb. This will allow you to add sockets to your existing items. Body armors and two-hand weapons can have up to 2 sockets, while the rest of your armor and
Feels like
one-hand
I'm gonna
weapons can
PhD in
only have 1
micromanaging and
socket.
efficiency to master in this
You
game.
can also salvage
Honestly,
items
no,
with
you
quality
don't.
to create items like
You
armor
could
scraps or
literally just play this
whetstones.
game.
These will allow you to
Oh,
increase the
master
quality of
this
your items
game?
for an up to 20%
To like
boost.
understand everything, yeah, but like,
If you don't want to
just
disenchant
play
or
the
salvage
game,
your
no.
items, you can always sell them for gold.
but yeah, there's
Gold
a,
can be used to
there's
buy
a
items
lot
from vendors,
of
and we've tried to do a
information in
lot to
this
make sure that
game.
the items they have for sale are actually useful. Every time you level up, they get more stock, so make sure to check back often. Other vendors offer a gamble. Pay a flat amount of gold and you'll get a random item of a specific type. This could be a great way to improve your gear, if you're lucky. Gold is also used to respec your passive skills.
Have I tried
Take
Path of
advantage of the
Exile 1?
system
Yeah.
to experiment with your tree and rework it
I
as
started
required.
playing Path of Exile during
The other thing you might want to use gold for is the
the
currency
first league that I
exchange.
fully played was
This allows you to exchange
Metamorph
currency items
League.
with other players on an open market, in exchange for a small gold fee. Now, all items in Path of Exile are freely tradable. We never bind anything to your character, except gold.
Ooh.
Now, most gear in Path of Exile 2 is randomly generated, but there's another type that is
Feeling better?
unique.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling
They
fine.
are
It's just- I have a
especially rare,
cough.
each with a
Hopefully it'll
handcrafted
go
set
away.
of unusual mods which can dramatically change a character's build. They're not just better rare items, they can do much stranger things that can fundamentally change your character.
One to see.
Corpse Wade will make any corpses you run through explode into clouds of poison.
Thank you for the
The
38
Sands
months,
of
Alex.
Silk
and
is a
thank you.
body armor that changes your dodge roll into a blink, morphing you into sand as you teleport past your foes. And of course, some uniques are just pure hits of dopamine, like Quill Rain, which just turns your bow attacks into full auto by doubling your attack speed. Each unique is something that you can build your character around. We try to make sure that most unique items have a potential use at endgame, even if you find them early on. And as you can see, every single unique item comes with custom art to match.
Okay.
The last character progression system that you can do during
There's
the
a watch
campaign
party?
is
Yeah, it is.
Ascension. Starting in Act 2, you will come across Ascension trials, tests that you must complete to unlock your Ascension class. We'll explain these trials soon, but first let's take a look at what Ascending can do for your character. Each class has access to 3 Ascendancy classes, but at the start of Early Access, only 2 per class will be available. Ascendancy classes are unique to each character class, so choose wisely. They can drastically affect how you build your character. As a sorceress, you could become a Storm Weaver, a master of the elements. Tempest Caller causes elemental storms to be summoned each time you do a critical hit with a spell. With Strike
You wanna play
twice,
this
you
now?
can stack
I
2
mean,
copies of Shock for more damage.
If
And
you
going deeper
haven't
into the tree,
played
you can make all your
if you
damage
haven't
types
played
apply
Path of
Shock.
Exile
Make a Shock build from any skill.
throughout, I mean,
Alternatively,
I
you
guess
could
don't
become a
need to play it, but
Chronomancer
I feel like
and
Path of
command
Exile is
time
fun.
itself. She literally has the ability to stop time with Time Freeze. Not only that, but she has many other time manipulation
interesting.
abilities. Using Temporal Rift, she can teleport back
That's
to a
pretty
previous
freaking cool.
location, resetting her life and mana back to what it was. Or with Time Snap, she can
Oh my
reset
god,
all
it's
her
an
cooldowns
hourglass.
and cast all her spells again. On the Warrior, you can choose between the Warbringer or the Titan. The Warbringer
The
channels the might of
Titan
his ancestors to gain
chills.
tremendous power. Using Answered Call, you can summon ancestral spirits linked to each of your totems. With Jade Heritage, you can
That's
encase your
me.
body in a protective layer
All
that
you
absorbs
guys are
all
saying
damage
that's
until it
me.
breaks. Warcaller's Bellow allows you to explode the corpses of your enemies. And with Great Wolf's Howl, you can ignore the cooldowns of your war cries. Let all that anger out. The Titan class is all about
Interesting.
hitting big. With Earthbreaker, every slam is a chance to create an aftershock. With Crushing Impacts, every hit becomes a crushing blow, which will allow you to stun your enemies with ease. With Surprising
That-
Strength, you can take advantage of stunned enemies to deal 40% more damage. As a ranger, you might choose to be a Deadeye, an expert markswoman who can take down foes with style. With Endless Munitions, every attack gains an extra projectile. With Gathering Winds, she gains a small increase to movement speed with every attack, but be careful, she loses them when getting hit. With Eagle Eyes, she will never miss,
Ranger looks
allowing
fire.
you to
I
stop
did
wasting all
play
those passive points on
Ranger.
accuracy. Alternatively, you could
I mean,
become
I feel like all the
Pathfinder,
classes are pretty
a master
fun.
of flasks and poison. She can choose from one of several throwable
I think I tried, like,
concoctions,
3
allowing
of
her to
them.
spend her flask charges to throw explosive bottles that deal various types of damage.
I didn't get to play
A
this for
bleeding
that long.
concoction will make your enemies bleed, while a
kept playing
fulminating
it
one can
out.
shock your enemies, allowing you
The
to do
fart
extra damage.
ascendancy chills.
Contagious Contamination allows her to spread poisons between her foes.
I don't know
while
what I'm
overwhelming
gonna
toxicity
choose.
doubles the number
I
of
kind
stacks
of
they can be
like the
infected
look
by.
of Sorcerer a lot, but
Running Assault
I mean,
allows
I'll
her to
see.
move much more quickly while firing, while Relentless Pursuit makes her totally immune to being slowed by enemies. The Witch can ascend into the Infernalist or the Blood Mage. As an Infernalist, she can summon a loyal Hellhound companion. The Hellhound sets
on
enemies on
Path of
fire,
Exile
as well as taking
one
a percentage of the
class?
damage if the Infernalist
I mean,
gets hit.
I just
With
I just played
Pyromantic
whatever,
Pact, you can turn your
honestly.
mana into Infernal Flame. As you
Whatever
cast
I
more
thought
spells,
looked good.
the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage. Using Bringer of Flame, you'll want to make sure you keep the flames topped up. While your Infernal Flame is above 30%, all damage from you and your minions will ignite enemies.
this looks kind of cool
She
actually.
can also transform into a literal demon.
Ooh.
While in demon form, she takes an increasing amount of damage, but her cast speed and damage increase rapidly as well. So if you're planning on transforming into a demon, make sure you stack a lot of life recovery. She can also become a Blood Mage, a master of life and energy. All Blood Mages must pay the price of making skills cost life as well as mana, but in exchange, every monster they kill will drop life remnants, which allow them to quickly gain back that life. With Crimson Power, she can gain large amounts of extra life, and with
looks
Vitality
neat.
Siphon, she can use her spells to leech life back as well.
I think
Once
this
you've got a
was
significant
the
amount of
class
life,
we
you can use
couldn't
Gore
play,
Spike to make your
or in the
critical hits deal
playtest that we
incredible
weren't
amounts of
able to
damage.
play? There's some classes
A
that-
monk who is in tune with the elements might become an Invoker.
I don't remember which ones were
With
available. But I
elemental
don't
expression, the Invoker
think we
will
got.
create
It was like
waves of elemental
Ranger,
power each time he does a critical
Sorcerer,
strike.
or Sorceress.
With Faith as a choice,
Warrior.
you gain the ability to meditate, allowing you to double your energy shield.
Did I
Choose
say
between
Ranger?
I am the Blizzard or
remember,
I am the
but-
Thunder to specialize in
think
cold
Blizzard's
or
out.
lightning.
Question mark.
And I Shall Rage will allow you to turn into an unbound avatar. Each time you apply a status ailment to an enemy, you gain Unbound Fury. When you have enough, transform into an avatar to deal way more damage and inflict even more elemental ailments. Some monks choose to reach into the darkness instead. The Acolyte of Chayula can exchange their mastery of spirit for darkness, a resource that can be utilized to both absorb and deal damage.
Okay.
The Shroud of Darkness will protect you from all damage incoming, but if you take Grasp of the
Chalupa
Void,
mention,
you'll
yeah.
deal extra chaos damage from all the darkness you have. Their Dark Pact offers greatly increased resistances to chaos damage and can allow their mana leech to not only happen instantly, but apply to their energy shield as well.
Shroud.
Another node you can take is Waking Dream,
Shroud
which allows you to
Mansion.
see into the domain of the Breach Demons. There you will see the flames of Chiyula that can be taken to gain life, mana, and damage. The mercenary has a job to do, but which job suits you? You might choose to become a witch hunter. Obsessive Rituals will give you a sorcery ward, allowing you to defend yourself against elemental hits in exchange for less defense against attacks. With Zealous Inquisition, your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death. The chance is doubled against demons and undead. With Judge, Jury, and Executioner, your initial hit against enemies can deal up to 30% of their life and damage, if you're lucky. This is great for hunting powerful bosses.
Okay.
And with Witcher, you can break your enemy's concentration, preventing them from casting
That is
spells as often as they would
insane.
usually do. You can also choose to become a Gemling Legionnaire, enhancing your abilities by embedding gems directly in your flesh. Integrated Efficiency will give you extra skill slots. Thermatological Infusion gives you extra maximum resistances as you sock up more and more support gems. Adaptive Capability allows you to use any
Is this
color
what
of
like
gem
going
without
out in
worrying about
Texas is like?
attributes, while
No.
Crystalline Potential adds extra quality bonuses to every gem socketed into your character. So those are the Ascendancy classes for the start of Early Access. But one thing we haven't talked about yet is how you ascend in the first place.
Yeah, there you go.
Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the Great Trials, which you'll find as you progress through the campaign. Each one is associated with one of the major cultures of Rayclast. Located in the Vasteri Plains are the Maraketh, a culture of rich tales and brutal traditions
I
who
still
must
have
do
a
whatever
cough.
it takes to survive in the desert. The highest position in Maraketh culture is a Sekima, and it is not a title given freely. All aspirants must complete the Trial of the Sekimas, a grueling gauntlet that will test their strength, will, cunning, and patience. To enter, a warrior of the Maraketh must prove their worth by trapping the soul of a djinn in a coin, and you are no different. Once you have earned your coin, it may be placed on the relic altar to begin the trial.
I should get some tea. That is true. I should.
In the Trial of the Sekimas, each room has its own challenges to overcome. In this room, each rare monster you kill will send its blood to the chalice in the center of the room. Once the chalice is filled, you will be able to proceed. While fighting monsters in the trial, you will need to be
When's the
very
beta?
careful.
I'm
Each hit
pretty
will not
sure
only
they'll
hurt you,
release
but will
or
damage
they'll
your honor.
say it at the end.
The monsters are well telegraphed, so that you can avoid their attacks, but if you run out of honor, you will fail the trial and need to find another coin in order to try again.
Or early
It
access.
is a good idea to make sure that you are well prepared before challenging the Trial of the Sekimas. After each room, you will be rewarded. In this case, you have been given a key that can be used to unlock chests later in the trial. Once you have claimed your reward, you will be shown a map of the rest of the floor and may choose how you wish to proceed. Which challenges would you like to face? And which rewards do you want
Yeah,
to
it's
claim?
not this month because
Some rooms are more dangerous, afflicting you with
delayed
debuffs that
the-
will persist for the entire
they
trial.
delayed it a little bit.
For
It
example,
was supposed to come
entering
out this
this
month,
room
I
will afflict you with
believe,
spiked
but
shell that will cause all monsters
I mean,
in the
they
rest of
probably
the
had things
trial to
that
have
they wanted to
50%
tweak,
increased
so-
life. You will want to take care if you choose such a path.
it's next month.
There are
but, like,
many
early
different
next
challenges
month.
and rewards as you journey through the trial.
They're not
Deadly
liking
traps, waves of monsters,
it. Yeah, I'd assume.
and strange artifacts will test your honor. As you progress, you'll be able to gain boons from the Jinn, which will help you on your journey. For example, the Sekima's cloak will revive
Do they
you
ever like
once if you
anything?
die,
Yeah, they do,
giving you a
actually.
second shot at a run. One of the rewards you may find is Sacred Water, an extremely valuable and treasured resource to the
Yeah, I
Jinn
feel like they
and
probably
to
like
Maraketh.
most things, but
Trading
this
it with the
seems
Jinn will allow you
a
to
bit
receive
time
many
consuming,
benefits.
so they probably
You can recover
don't
honor,
really like it
gain
that much.
additional boons, or remove afflictions. At the end of the floor, you'll find a powerful boss which will truly
Yeah,
test
because
your
Lab
limitations.
was like,
In order to ascend, you will
you
need to
hate
defeat
Labs? I mean, I feel like Lab wasn't that. I mean, I feel like Lab was pretty fast, so. I mean, it is a little annoying, but.
Having defeated the boss, you've earned the right to ascend. But first, the loot. The keys you have found may be used to open the various
Lab was
treasures in the vault
But
at
the
the end of
thing
the
is,
floor.
you're gonna feel the
We
same way
only
about
have a
this
single bronze key, so
when
we'll just
you,
have to open one of these small chests. If
when
want
you
to
play
open the
it.
better
Like,
ones, you'll
after
need
the
silver or
first
gold
one, you're
keys.
gonna be like, yeah,
Let's use
I'm
the
over
Altar of
this.
Ascendancy. Your first
I'm
ascension
pretty
will
sure
allow you to pick your class and
I
grant you
just
2
feel like I
points to
miss
use in the
Labs
tree.
because I mean,
Now, there are
it's
more
just something
flaws
I'm
and many
used to.
more rewards that can be found within the Trial of the Sekimas, but we'll save that for the section on the endgame.
Rip
For now,
Azaro.
let's talk about the second Ascendancy trial.
Yeah,
the
you like it
Trial
when
of
Azaro
Chaos.
bugs out and
In
then he
Path
says
of
his
Exile
voice
2,
line
you
like
can
5
choose whichever
times,
trial
or
you
he
like
spams
to
it
earn
in
your
chat.
ascension. Each culture on Raidpost have their own methods to ascend. If the Trial of the Sekimas is not your kind of playstyle, or you're finding it too difficult, you could try another. You can gain all your
I mean, I
ascension
don't
points
mind
with just
Lab
one,
because,
or mix and match them. It's up to you.
That's like
For early access, we will have 2 trials as options,
that's
with
like
a
one
third
of the
trial
things
coming
I
later
did
for the
when
full
I
release.
first started. Not first. But
While
like,
exploring
when
the
I played
Vaal
PoE
jungle, you'll
early
discover
on,
the Temple
I
of
just used to
Chaos.
run labs and farm
Before the Vaal
lab
embraced the
enchants
science of corruption,
'cause I
their
was
civilization
bored
worshipped
and to
chaos.
sell it. You
This
didn't-
ancient
yeah, they
trial was
can.
once used by the Vaal to test their high priests. A high priest of the Vaal must show willingness to risk everything to gain power. Entry to the
I
trial
was indeed
requires a
a lab
token from a
runner.
strange entity known only as the Trial Master. For those in which he sees potential, he shall inscribe an ultimatum.
What the heck?
Many have attempted these trials in search of
Blech.
greatness. Most have perished. Will you be able to defy the odds? Before you begin each chamber, the Trial Master will offer you a reward and a choice. Choose one of 3 tribulations to affect you through the rest of the trial. These modifiers might beef up the monsters, curse the player, or add environmental hazards like turrets or trap runes.
Here's the Bex loop.
In this case, we'll be picking
Interesting.
shocking turrets. As you enter the room, the Trial Master will fill it with hazards to test your commitment. In this case, you must destroy all the monsters that fill the room, while dealing with the lightning projectiles from the shocking turrets.
They're logging back in, yeah. Yeah, the Sanctum route does not seem...
After each
Not
room,
much
you
of
will
my
need to make a
speed, I
choice.
must say.
Take the rewards you have earned so far, or go double or nothing. Increase your rewards, but take on more risk. Each tribulation you add is minor on its own, but they quickly stack on top of each other and can become overwhelming. There are many types of chambers in the trial. Each will test your resolve in different ways. This one
They better
simply
have to
requires
trust
you
them and
survive
release it.
for a
Oh
certain
yeah,
amount
for
of
sure
time.
they will.
Another requires you to escort the
They
stone
usually have
idol
drops
to the
on
level as
like
elevators for
today
monsters
for
descend
like
to attack you.
something, but
Should you
yeah.
be able to get through the first 3 chambers,
I don't know what
you
it
will
is
face
right now,
your first
but
boss.
there's probably
The
something.
order of the bosses is random, and combined with the tribulations you have selected, the fight will
Oh,
never
it's
feel the same.
wings, chills. Wait, I need to watch.
After defeating the
Actually,
boss,
I
you
guess
may
I'm
claim
watching
your
the stream right
rewards.
now.
Of course, there are the
Turn them
items,
on.
but you also
I'm pretty
gain
sure
the
they're
right to
on by
ascend.
default.
If you already did the Trial of the Sekimas, then you can claim
It's
2 more
hands
points to add
instead
to your
of
ascendancy
wings.
class.
Oh.
Now, it's possible to
Yeah,
go
my
much
drops
deeper.
are just like
there are more
they
bosses,
should
rewards,
just be
and risks to
on by
take.
default.
But we'll talk more about that when we get to
I think I
endgame.
just have them on by default.
So how about we talk about that now? So far, we've only been showing you
Is
footage
this what
from the
old
campaign.
folks call
but some
false
people would argue that
advertisement?
the
No,
endgame
it's
is where the
just-
game truly begins. Something that happens almost every
Level
time a new
100.
action RPG launches is people saying, there isn't enough in-game content. Well, we want to make sure that in PoE 2, people don't feel that way. And we actually only changed our development priority for this recently. The first 3 acts of PoE 2 already take around 25 hours to complete if you're a new player. This is already a pretty significant campaign. On the other hand, people spend
Hundreds of
in
hours. I
in-game
like
each
that.
week. We realized that
They
finishing the
didn't
rest
even
of the campaign
specify,
for
they
early
just put
access was
hundreds of
actually a
hours.
bad idea. Instead of having acts 4 to 6 in early access, we could concentrate on endgame and make that great. For new players, a 25-hour campaign is already a huge game with lots of content. But for existing action RPG players, what you mostly care about is all the in-game challenges to overcome. So several months ago, we switched the entire development team's focus over to making in-game content. At the start of early access, there will be 50 bosses and around 400 monster types. But the great thing is that the rest of the game is like 80% there.
Think for the
We
3
added
months
content to roughly
drawing
double the size of the game during early access and into release. Now, in order to make the endgame happen at the same character level as what it would be after we added the rest of the acts, we've added a second difficulty level called Cruel, where you repeat the campaign with all the monsters and bosses leveled up. And of course, new rewards. You can kind of think of it as like a new game plus. It's also a lot faster to get through the content the second time.
That's
as
your
player speed
level?
increases.
Wait, yeah, actually.
That will take you to around level 65, where the endgame begins. Once we add the remaining 3 acts, we'll be removing Cruel difficulty, so you'll progress straight from the end of Act 6 to endgame.
Okay.
But what is the endgame?
Chills.
To explain that, I'll hand over to Mark. He can tell you all about it.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director
Mark.
on Path of Exile 2. Well, one thing that Path of Exile is known for is having a lot of distinct endgame content to choose between. Each endgame mechanic needs to have its own progression system, areas, bosses, rewards, and player power that can only be gained from that content. We are going to be adding a lot more over time, but for Path of Exile 2 we decided to start with 7 distinct systems you can progress through.
This is the Atlas, and it serves as the core of the endgame for Path of Exile 2. It's infinite and expands in all directions. Now, we are not going to spoil the plot too much here, but corruption from the beast has blighted the land, and your objective is to help fight it. In the center of the Atlas you will find the Ziggurat, a temple in which the Val research the fundamentals of space and time. Here, we can open portals to nearby locations and begin cleansing corruption and finding resources. In order to power the portal device, we will need waystones. Each waystone has a tier which will determine the level of the monsters that you will face. To go to an area, simply click one that is adjacent to an area that you have already completed. Insert the waystone and click Traverse. Portals will open, allowing you and your party to travel to the area you have selected. All the areas in the endgame feel distinct from the locations in the campaign, and we have dialed the randomization up to 11. The monster packs you will face in each map are totally random, and the combination of them can lead to some very interesting combat situations. There are over 400 monster types in early access, and they have a lot of varied and interesting abilities. Depending on which combinations you face,
I actually have not seen any endgame
in
builds
order to cleanse the
now,
corruption
too.
from the area, you will need to defeat all the powerful rare and unique enemies in it. Once you have done that, the area will be marked as completed and you will be able to travel past it to progress deeper into the world. If you die, then the map can no longer be run, and you will have to find another way around to get to the areas behind it. There are also all kinds of other random encounters you might run into as you play maps. One such encounter are precursor artifacts. These are ancient, corrupting monuments that irradiate the monsters around them. The monsters that feed off the corruption are drawn to their power. If you defeat the monsters and cleanse the artifact, you will get a powerful temporary buff. Some of the buffs make you faster, others rain lightning or fire around you, and some even give you increased experience or help you find better items. You can also find strong boxes. These enigmatic chests guard piles of treasure, but are always a trap. Monsters lie in wait to attack you the moment you open it, and the boxes often have mechanisms to unleash powerful spells or dangerous debuffs. There are different types of strong boxes containing different items, and you can even use your currency items to craft them on the fly, so you can optimize the content. But be careful of opening one you can't handle.
Okay, this is all we've seen. We've seen this, you know. But anything new?
Sometimes you'll discover monsters frozen in essences, solidified crystalline corruption. These dangerous monsters can be broken free. If you defeat them, the essence they drop can be used to upgrade normal items to magic items with a guaranteed mod from a category. For example, we could use this one on some boots to ensure a movement speed mod. Rarely, essences will also drop that allow you to upgrade magics to rares, adding the guaranteed mod. This is incredibly powerful, since it allows you to get a second deterministic mod in your crafting projects.
Jeez, look at those
Combining
boots!
these with the currencies that are commonly found in Rayclass for
Wait, give me
modifying
these
items,
boots.
and we can get a very nice pair of boots indeed. Waystones, like all items, can also be crafted using your currency items. Adding prefix mods will improve the rewards, while suffix mods increase danger. The more dangerous a map is, the more waystones will drop. Adding mods to your waystones is key to progressing to higher tiers and sustaining them, but it will require you to take on larger challenges. There are a variety of factors you have to consider when crafting your waystones. Some maps will have higher density, some lower, some have more magic and rare chests, or monsters, some are more linear, and others more open. Make sure you explore and think about what makes certain maps good if you want to maximize your returns. As you cleanse corruption from higher and higher tiers of the Atlas, you will gain points that you can spend in the Atlas tree. This tree
sorcerer
allows you to
witch?
juice the danger and rewards of all areas in the endgame.
Because usually
You could increase the number of monsters,
class that
the
I
number of rares, the number of
in
precursor
Path of
artifacts or
Exile
strongboxes,
1
even
is
the
always,
quantity
like,
of item
usually
drops.
towards like the
As you explore the in-game world map,
Assassin
you'll notice
class.
various different biomes, from snow-capped mountains to dense jungle valleys. Most maps are restricted to certain biomes.
So I was high
As
and
you
I thought she
continue
was
to
playing the whole
explore
time. I was
deeper into
wondering
the
how you
Atlas,
changed the
there are all
characters
sorts
so
of things
fast.
to discover.
Yeah, it's
These
'cause I'm
cities
just
are
a chill
constructed
guy.
by different peoples of Rayclast and have specific items that can be found there. These strange structures marked on the map don't appear to do anything for now. Perhaps you'll work out how to use them later. You might find unique maps like Untainted Paradise, an
Oh, yeah, that
undisturbed
was
island
huge.
full of beasts that give an extreme amount of experience. You
Yeah, I
may
don't
even
know.
find a lonely
I
man
never
just
really played,
enjoying
like,
his retirement who will give you a unique
casting
item for free.
classes.
In addition, you can find
Maybe I'll
special
try something
areas that would
different.
make a good spot to set up camp. Clear these areas of their hostile inhabitants, and you'll be able to claim them as your own hideout. You can decorate your hideout as you see fit, and invite various NPCs to join you there to create your own personal base of operations. A great tool for exploration are towers. These mysterious precursor constructs are dotted around the Atlas. Completing the tower will reveal a large area around it, allowing you to scout out your next challenge. There are lots of things to find, so keep looking. Some sections of your Atlas are influenced by corruption. This adds
The
extra
2v
modifiers to the maps
hideout?
in the region, increasing
That one's a
difficulty
classic.
and rewards. Here, slaying monsters in close proximity to each other will cause the vestiges of
How long have I
corruption
played?
within them to merge together, forming powerful and grotesque
I played
abominations.
since Metamorph
You
League.
may have noticed
So
while
that was,
looking
like,
at the Atlas that some of the areas have these icons above them.
2018?
The icon indicates that the area contains
Maybe
some
before
kind of
20
special
2017,
encounter.
2018,
This icon
something around-
indicates that the
around
area
that
has a
time.
powerful boss. Because only 1 in 4 maps contain a map boss, we are able to make them very powerful and very rewarding. These bosses come from the campaign, but have had their difficulty increased with
I just
changes to
remember it
AI
was
and some of their abilities.
when I was
It's
in
worth noting that because you can see where the bosses are, you can choose to take them on or avoid them. If you do choose to hunt bosses though, then you will be rewarded with special points for the boss hunting section of the Atlas skill tree. The points here will allow you to specialize in boss killing, giving you much greater rewards for defeating them.
2018 was 15 years ago. Yeah, I don't know.
For
if it
each
was
different
15,
type of
but
content in the endgame, we are adding
was quite
specialized
some time
trees in
ago.
order
It's
to make it so
been-
you don't feel the need to respec your points when you change between different types of content. We will be showing you 7 of these by the end of this presentation, so there is still a lot more to come.
7. Yeah, the
Bosses are
tree's
not
so
the only
pretty.
icon you will see on the Atlas. Let's take a look at one of the in-game systems, Breach. If you played PoE 1, you might be familiar with Breach. For PoE 2, we have created sequels to several PoE 1 leagues. While the mechanic is familiar, the monsters, bosses, rewards, and progression are all new. A breach is a tear in the fabric of reality.
Why are you guys
Opening
sludging?
it will allow you to see the demons and otherworldly
Are you guys
monstrosities
thinking
that
about
lie
a
in
different
wait on this
game?
other plane of existence.
Do you
By
not
engaging
even-
with a breach,
you guys
you'll
are
create a
actually
bridge between
brain
their
rotted.
world and Rayclast.
You saw people
In
doing it?
order to keep the
Oh.
breach open, you will need to kill the demons that pour forth. The faster you can kill the monsters, the more monsters you will fight, and the more loot you will find.
I didn't even say it
You can
myself.
also
That was
find
you
fast
guys,
tanks
not
that
me.
will open and drop more items if you run over them. These can be a good boost to the rewards of the breach, so keep an eye out. One of the rewards that you may find while fighting monsters from Breach are tablets. Tablets are special items that can be used with precursor towers to add more encounters to the Atlas. Breaches will drop breach tablets.
Okay.
Clicking on a completed tower will allow you to consume the tablet to add more breaches to areas within range of the tower. This makes all the content in the
Yeah.
Atlas self-sustaining. Want to do more
Reskin
breaches? Find the
Scarab.
tablets, add them to your towers, get more breaches, getting more tablets. Soon your Atlas will be covered in otherworldly domains. In addition, like all items in PoE, you can craft them. Use your currency to add mods to your tablets, allowing you to upgrade all the breaches in range. Tablets can have up to 2 mods. These mods do things like adding extra rare monsters, extra clasped hands, or even monster density of breaches, allowing you to keep them open longer. Often, you will find multiple towers near to each other with overlapping areas of effect. This can allow you to rarely juice the mechanic by stacking the mods from multiple tablets.
Oh,
In your
okay.
fight to hold the breach demons at bay, you may want to use the powers of their world against them. Each in-game mechanic always has player power that can only be gained from that mechanic, and Breach is no different. In Breach, you will find catalysts, items that can increase the quality of rings and amulets by improving specific mobs. You can also find Breach Rings, a special base type that can have its quality improved by catalysts up to 50%. In this case, you could create a ring with around 170 life. Breach Rings can become some of the strongest rings in the game, giving you some good motivation to face the demon hordes. In addition, each endgame mechanic needs to have a pinnacle endgame encounter. While killing Breach monsters, you may find Breach Splinters. Collect enough of these and you'll be able to create a Breach Stone. Using a Vaal technology called the Realm Gate, you can use your Breachstone to access their domain and bring the fight to them. In this twisted domain, you will find nothing but a single massive breach. Triggering it will reveal hordes of breach inhabitants. And should you be fast enough, you will be able to fight their leader, Zesht. We that are one.
We that dreamed. We in nightmare. We that are one. Fate.
The bosses in this game look so cool. Yeah, big hands. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, are his wings the ones that dropped because he got hands for
Pinnacle
wings?
encounters of Fury 2. We won't be showing the rest of them, so you will have to discover them for yourself. But rest assured, this is some of the hardest content we have ever made. All of these encounters have specific uniques that can only be found from them, but that's not all. We still have the progression system. Defeating Zesht will give you points to allocate into the breach section of the Atlas.
Yeah, the fight looks super cool. His
Allocating these
abilities
points
look really
will make
neat.
breaches and the breach domain even harder, but will give you more rewards. The small nodes will increase the difficulty of the twisted domain, while the large nodes have more specific bonuses. For example, this node adds more clasped hands to your breaches, and adds a pack of magic monsters that can guard them. Get some more points and you can allocate Waking Nightmare, which will double the number of splinters you get from clasped hands, and inflict you with a mysterious debuff. In order to earn more points, you will need to defeat Zesht at a higher difficulty, and some rewards from Zesht can only be found by increasing the difficulty of the Twisted Domain above certain thresholds. Defeating Zesht at difficulty 4 will be a challenge indeed, but there are many more threats in Rayclast. Ritual altars are sacrificial sites built by the mysterious King in the Mists. If you encounter this symbol on the Atlas, then you know that the area contains ritual altars.
Yeah, they said they didn't want to spoil it too much.
Every monster you slaughter in the circle will feed the altar. After the sacrifice, touch it to begin the ritual. The monsters you just killed will be resurrected by the King of the Mist's dark magic, and you must fight to survive. The tribute you have offered to the altar can be spent to buy powerful items, but they can be expensive. To gain more tribute, you will want to find more altars. Each successive ritual you do within an area will spawn the monsters revived by the previous ones, in addition to the ones you sacrifice next to it. By the end of an area, you will be fighting a truly imposing number of foes, but will have a significant amount of tribute to spend. One of the rewards you can buy with tribute are omens. These are special items that allow for metacrafting. Crafting items that affect other crafting items. Have an item with good prefixes but bad suffixes? This omen will help you to remove the mod you don't want, while keeping the ones you do. There are a bunch more of these with different effects, but we will leave them for you to discover. Now don't forget that Ritual will also drop tablets, which can be used to specialize into getting more rituals. If you want to get to the pinnacle boss of Ritual, then you will probably want to use them. They can also be crafted to grant mods, making your rituals more rewarding. The pinnacle encounter of Ritual is the King in the Mists. Feared by the Asmeri people, he is said to have brought eternal darkness to the Wildwood. We won't show the encounter, but just like Breach, there are a range of unique items you can get for defeating him, and you will gain points in the ritual section of the Atlas tree. Some maps have been touched by insanity. A mysterious entity has taken a special interest in you. Step through the looking glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life. When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium will spread out across the area, infecting your mind. You must stay within the mist to maintain the nightmare, which is as profitable as it is terrifying. Everything you kill will increase the rewards that drop. However, the deeper into the mist you travel, the stronger the monsters are. Be careful not to overstay your welcome. Rare and unique enemies will become vessels for terrifying demons, who will manifest out of them to unleash powerful attacks on you. The mist also offers a strange crafting material, distilled
Monk
emotions.
might be you.
By
Yeah,
combining
like
these
it.
emotions, you are able to instill your amulet with a notable from the passive skill tree. This is like gaining an extra passive point for free, attached to your gear. They are also particularly great because
play
you don't
games where you
have to
can't
traverse
jump?
the
Well,
trees again,
technically you
allowing
can
you to
dodge
get
roll,
off-class bonuses that
so-
would normally be much harder to get. Distilled emotions can also be used to instill your in-game maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your in-game maps. The tablets you can
My
find from
feelings
Delaria can be used to
really
further
too.
improve it, increase
That's
pack
crazy.
size, make the fog dissipate slower, or improve your progress towards the pinnacle encounter of Delirium. Speaking of which, every now and then you will find simulacrum splinters. The mysterious entity will create strange encounters based on warped versions of your own memories. Monsters and simulacrums come in waves that get progressively more difficult. You will receive loot at the end of each wave, and you'll have to make the decision to leave now or continue on, facing
But
up
what if
against
they
even tougher
rework
foes
Blight?
from the
You guys
mist.
don't know.
The bosses you will face as you get deeper into a simulacrum are truly terrifying. If you can complete a simulacrum, you will gain points for the Delirium section of the Atlas skill tree. Next up, we have
Oh
Expedition.
no, I don't be doing these.
Occasionally, while clearing corruption, you will encounter these Kalguran settlers. The Kalgurans have discovered ancient burial
Yeah,
sites
I know
with
you
lost
love these,
Verisium
Sam.
artifacts,
You actually
and they
spam
want you
these.
to help dig them up with explosives. The Kalgurans have marked the locations where the relics can be found. Place explosives as best you can to dig up as many as possible. There is just one problem. Corruption has brought the corpses of their ancestors to life, so you might have to do a little cleanup before you can reclaim the artifacts. You can also find remnants, the destruction of which will further anger the restless dead. Each one you blow up will make the subsequent monsters more powerful, but also more rewarding. Danig, Rog, Tujin, and Gwenin will exchange the artifacts for useful items and runic magic. You can also find tablets to increase the number of expeditions and the rewards. This one increases the radius of explosives, while this one increases the number of remnants you will find. Eventually, you might discover a logbook. These are special maps full of buried treasure and relics, essentially one giant dig site. Here, you can create an extremely long chain of explosives and go through a very high
Oh
number
my
of
god, do you see
remnants.
how many you
But be
can
careful,
plant down?
many remnants have mods that
They
can
start at
barely brick your build,
15.
so you will probably want to avoid these ones. If you add too many remnants, you could easily make the encounter harder than you can handle. There are all sorts of interesting things buried under the ground in logbooks. You might find dripping caves and hidden pirate caches, but the most powerful encounter is Olroth, the ancient undead commander of the Knights of the Sun. Defeating him will grant you unique rewards, as well as points to spend in the expedition section of the Atlas tree. So those are the in-game systems on the Atlas, but we are not done yet. The trials we talked about earlier have much more content when you get to endgame too. Just like the other endgame systems, they also have progression mechanics, unique rewards, and player power that can only be gained from them. As you get higher level coins for the Trial of the Sycamores, you will
Ow.
unlock more floors to explore. Each floor has its own challenging rooms and a floor boss that you will need to kill. There are 4 floors in total, leading to another pinnacle boss at the end of the last floor, which can only be accessed at endgame. The Trial of the Sycamores is where you'll find jewels, which you can socket into your tree. These are like passives that
Brimstone
you can craft with your
crab.
currency items. They can be really powerful as they allow you to stack modifiers that may not be easily accessible on the tree normally. This jewel gives lightning damage and shock chance, for example. There are quite a few jewel sockets on the tree, so it's possible to gain a lot of power here. There are also other types of jewels that don't provide any bonuses themselves, but affect other passives surrounding them.
I'm
This jewel
reading-
increases the
I'm
effect of
reading
small
the
nodes
mob's
and
name. I
radius
was
by
just laughing
25%.
because
With
it was
careful
just an
placement in the tree,
interesting name.
you could get a significant amount of power from it. There are also unique jewels available with very interesting effects, but you will have to find those for yourself. In order to push further into the trial and uncover the secrets of the Maraketh, you will want to take advantage of its progression system, relics. Relics are items that can be placed in the relic altar as you start the trial. They give special bonuses that affect the trial, making it easier and increasing its rewards. Of course, you can craft these with your currency items, making them even stronger. If you can complete the entire trial overcoming all 4 floors, the final boss will reward you with one of many unique relics. These relics will be consumed when used on your next
Here,
run,
let me see.
but
They're
can
just
reward
gonna
you with
say...
unique and powerful items. For example, this is the last
Log
floor.
out.
If you use it, you will have only 1 honor for the entire trial, so you will need to do a completely hitless run. The Trial of Chaos also extends into the endgame. As you gain inscribed ultimatums of higher and higher levels, the number of chambers that you can go through increases. In true Val style, this allows you to take even more risks for even more rewards. At endgame, you can progress through up to 10 chambers and 3 bosses on a single run. Stacking 10 tribulations on top of each other will make this a significant challenge, but it's worth it. The Trial Master will tempt you with items of the Val Empire, such as Val Orbs. Val Orbs are powerful crafting items that corrupt your gear with random mysterious outcomes. Corruption prevents an item from being modified further, so it has to be the last step of your craft. But it's also the most impactful one. For example, if you use one on your body armor, it might add a new powerful enchantment, or it might re-roll up to half of its modifiers. Val Orbs also have the ability to add a socket, allowing you to bypass the normal restriction of how many sockets an item can have. A body armor could get up to 3 sockets this way, allowing for a significant number of mods. Val Orbs can even modify uniques. Adding enchantments or sockets to uniques can make them incredibly powerful, but there is a good chance that you will break them as well. The Trial Master will also occasionally offer you soul cores. Originally formed by Chaos, the Val sought to replicate soul cores through human sacrifice rituals and blood magic to power their civilization. Soul cores are powerful socketable items, with mods that cannot be obtained from regular runes. Like all endgame content, there is of course a pinnacle boss. The final chamber will drop keys to this mysterious door. Some say this is where the Trial Master himself resides. Perhaps you are willing to take the risk to find out. Had enough yet? Because there is still just one more thing. The most difficult content in Path of Exile 2. While mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger. Is the maze preventing something from getting in, or something getting out? This fortress is of ancient origin, and its construction has similarities to the towers and tablets that you have been using on your journey through the endgame. It is clear from the entrance that there are 3 keys required to enter. Local factions are vying for access to the fortress in order to seize the power they believe will be inside. Each of the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them. Each faction is led by an Uber-Act boss. You can see one of them inhabiting the city, but in order to fight him, you will first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the adjacent zones. Be careful. If you fail against either of the lieutenants, or to kill the leader, they will move on, and you will need to find them again. Kill all the Uber bosses and you will gain access to the fortress. We aren't going to spoil it as we can't wait to see you guys attempt it for the first time. But is there a tree you get points in after killing it? Of course there is. This is Path of Exile. There is always another tree.
So these are your challenges for PoE 2. As you can see, this project is crazy huge. Way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well, during early access, you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free.
Wait, I've definitely...
Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store. If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 early access pack. The pack also comes with $30 of points to spend in the MTX store. But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled with exclusive microtransactions, points to spend in the store, and even physical items. The cosmetics can be used right now in PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts.
Ooh, that one's so
Most of
pretty.
this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately. The Lord of Ogham supporter pack contains a cosmetic armor set befitting of the Count of Ogham himself. There is
Early
also a
access
matching
December
back
6th.
attachment, which has an alternate variant depicting the influence of corruption.
Wait, was that pack 500?
Also in this pack, you can find a portal formed of the rusted armor of the fallen soldiers in the Red Veil of Ogham, and the offspring of a vicious crowbar boss found in the Hunting Grounds. This one doesn't look so vicious though. On top of that, you'll receive the Iron Count's Y-hander to apply to your one-handed or two-handed swords. For those who are wanting to decorate your hideouts with fond memories and tales of Path of Exile's history, you will also get a series of hideout statues.
On it, then
this pack contains the statue
and
of
then
Pillock.
they have like 5
For Path of
bajillion
Exile 1's
problems,
closed
and then
beta,
they never
each pack
fix it or
contained a
take
true
like
New
5
Zealand
trillion
icon,
years to
the
fix
Kiwi.
it. The Kiwi.
Following this tradition, all packs in the series will also contain a new themed Kiwi pet. The pet will loyally follow you into battle, but run away at the first sign of trouble. Become the ruler of the desert with the King of the Faradin supporter pack. Show your mastery of traversing the sands of the Vasteri Plains. The body armor will allow you to glide along the ground with ancient sand magic. Now each armor set comes with body armor, boots, gloves, and helmet, but the boots are covered in sand. If you'd prefer to show them off, you can turn the gliding off if you want.
Cares about their game, so unlike some other
the accompanying
companies
back
that
attachment equips you with 2 powerful pillars that can control and manipulate lightning.
You know,
they will periodically release their energy in a powerful
but
blast while in town, and hover in a circle around you, arcing lightning between them, forming a barrier of energy. Replace the appearance of any bow
Who
with
could
the
that be?
Faradin's
Honestly,
glory skin.
I feel like
or
a lot
replace
of
the appearance of a spear with the Tyranny's End spear skin.
a lot of companies
This
have like a
spear skin can be
specific
applied
date
to
where they want to
staves and war
release a
staves
game
in
by,
Path
so
of
they
Exile
have like
1.
this crunch time period, and then
If you want to truly show your worth as a king of the
everyone's
Faradin,
super
then you
stressed
definitely
trying to get
need
it
your
out by that
trusty
day.
moving entire city fortress known as the Dreadnought to travel across the Vasteri Plains. In Path of Exile, you can decorate your hideout however you like, and it's no exception here. It comes with a variety of thematic elements to use, or use decorations from elsewhere in the game.
I gotta make
Additionally,
another
you'll get the Deshret's Blessing level up effect.
prison in my hideout.
The King of the Faradin Kiwi pet. And last but not least, a statue depicting the Vile Oversoul from Path of Exile 1. For those who don't know how supporter packs work, each pack comes with all of the cosmetics from the
Why am I
previous
locking
tier,
people up?
so you'll
'Cause they
get all
can't
the
leave
items
my
from the Lord of
hideout.
Ogham supporter pack as well. The Thaumaturge of the Vile supporter pack features an armor set and back attachment themed around the Vile and their pursuit of science and progress. You can find the Soul Core weapon effect in this pack, which causes thaumaturgic energy harnessed from sacrifice to spill from your weapon. This pack also contains Doryani's Idol. It replaces the default appearance of any foci to an ancient relic once used by Doryani, and this can be applied to shields in Path of Exile 1. That's not the only Vile weapon you'll find. It also contains the Wand of the Thaumaturge
In case
skin.
of an investigation by any
And the Royal
federal
Sacrifice
entity
dagger
or
skin.
similar, I do not have any involvement with this group or the people
You
in it.
wouldn't
I do
think
not
to
know
put
how I'm here,
sacrificial
probably added
gems
by
on
a
a Kiwi,
third
but the
party.
Vile do.
I do not support any
Thaumaturge
actions
of
by the
Vile
member of this.
supporters will receive the Thaumaturge of the
What are you
Vile
writing that
Kiwi
for?
pet. And the Statue of Dominus. This is also the first pack in the series with a physical
Freaking
item.
domino.
When purchasing this pack, you'll receive a Path of Exile
Oh my
2
god, a
logo t-shirt.
shirt!
But if you don't want one, you can opt out and return for additional points to spend in the store. Becoming a Warlord of the Karui supporter will grant you an armor set and back attachment, adorned in jade carvings
Imagine
and iridescent feathers resembling
Playing
power.
Path of Exile 2,
Enough to even impress the ancestral gods,
early access
specifically
with your
Tukohama,
Path of
the
Exile 2
Karui god
shirt
of war.
and your supporter pack,
Overkill, you say? I think the
a
Karui
lunchly
people
in your
disagree.
hand and a
Why not
prime
drop
in
a
the
gigantic
other,
totem on rare enemies you slay
and the
crush
talk
them
to a
pulp?
podcast on your second one.
Replace your crafting bench in your hideout with the Ancestral Canoe crafting bench,
And a
where Ancestral
feastable.
Chief Mata will summon a giant canoe manned by Karui warriors
And then
to aid in
blasting
your crafting desires.
thick of it from the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. Where's my
You'll
crown?
also get
That's
a
my
pair of
bling.
weapon
Always
skins.
drama wear a ring.
Equip Akoya's Felling Axe skin to your one-hand or two-handed axes, or Tukohama's Crusher to your one-handed or
Grandpa.
two-handed maces. A true Karui warlord is always accompanied by the trusty Kiwi. Equipped with armor and harnessing ancestral magic, they make the perfect sidekick. Once one of the most feared beings in Rayclast, Malachi was slain by a powerful exile. May the statue commemorate the virtue of exiles past, present, and of the future. Of course, it's not all about dressing up in game. You'll want to look good in real
Wait,
life
a
too.
sweater?
By
No
becoming a Warlord
freaking
of the
way.
Karui supporter, you'll also get a Path of Exile 2 hoodie. Our final tier of support pack in this series is the Liberator of Ray class
Okay,
support pack.
this is what I want to buy.
The Liberator of Ray class armor set and back attachment come made with the finest materials in Ray class.
This one's look nice.
And shattered glass mosaics suspended in divine power. Set up your base of operations in the Beacon of Salvation hideout.
Sheesh.
Why restrict yourself to just one island when you can liberate more? The Beacon of Salvation hideout comes equipped with your own collection of small islands.
Wait,
and
what?
personal operators of boats that you can use to row between them. Just walk to the piers, click a boat to enter, and navigate as you choose. Decorate each island as you see fit to best represent your well-earned hideout. Everyone in your hideout can use their own boat. Why not have some races? You can also get the Window to Twilight portal effect, a beautiful mosaic piece of art that shatters and reveals a gateway to your desired destination as you approach it.
From the screen to
As you
the ring.
walk away, the glass magically reforms back to its original form. Rule and style with the Throne of the Ruler map device. Sure, this map device can create portals to
Oh my
in-game
god, that
maps,
is beautiful.
But it also comes with a throne you can sit on to
And a
oversee your growing
throne!
kingdom. Look down
Wait,
on the
I'm
plebeians
sold.
running your maps.
But
Being the Liberator, though, is not just about sitting on your throne all day. If you do decide to join the fight yourself, you can leave a High Priest in charge as your second in command. Liberator of Ray class supporters will also get a set of varied weapon skins. The Light of Divinity Scepter skin, the Deliverance crossbow skin, the Justice flail skin, and the Redemption shield skin. Once again, you'll have an accompanying key,
Wait, the
and
pet
of course a
looks so
statue depicting one of the
cute.
most iconic events in Ray class's history. The battle between a
Kitava
powerful exile and
chills.
Kitava, the Insatiable. With the help of two deities, Sin and Innocence, the exile was able to defeat him once and for all. This supporter pack also contains the Path of Exile 2 art book.
oh,
This
that's neat
215-page
actually.
full-color art book includes a huge amount of amazing concept art and
Ooh.
lore produced during the long and exciting journey of Path of Exile 2's development. And finally, Path of Exile has a tradition of letting the community participate in designing game features. For Path of Exile 2 will be adding the Twilight Order Foil Reliquary. By becoming a Liberator of Ray class supporter, once Path of Exile 2 is released, you will be able to select any unique item you have found and be able to drop it from the Reliquary. Once players have submitted their items, keys to the Reliquary will start dropping, and other players will be able to find foil versions of uniques that you have submitted along with a message for the lucky player. The more players submit the same unique, the more chances there will be for the Reliquary to drop them, so choose wisely. Now almost all of these items are available to use in PoE 1 right now. There are a few exceptions where the item class clearly doesn't exist, such as crossbows or flails. And there are also a few microtransactions on weapon types that are unavailable in PoE 2 at the start of early access. Once classes that use those weapon types are added, those microtransactions will be available to use. If you can't decide which supporter pack to choose yet, you can always start with the early access supporter pack that just includes a key and some points to spend in the store. Then you can
Nah, I
upgrade
think
to
I'll
any of
buy the
following
most
tiers at a
expensive
later date.
one.
These supporter packs will be available for purchase throughout early access.
I look very
We'd
handsome
really
today.
like to
Thank you,
thank you for
Harry.
your ongoing support. Without you guys, Path of Exile 2 could not have happened. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. Stick
The
around, because coming up
Q&A.
next, we have a live Q&A with Ziggy D.
I think I think this is all I have to watch. Where's my mouse? Hello? From the screen to the ring, I can't change anything. Drops is an hour and 30.
To the post-show
I was like, wait, he's
discussion and
muted.
Q&A. Hope you all enjoyed what you've seen so far. It's been pretty exciting for us here as well, as you guys have been inspired already
Okay, I
just
think-
watching things. And you're already cooking a new ascendancy
that's it.
class.
Yeah, for sure.
Exciting. Wait, I need to. Okay, let me do this really quick. Puzzle box time? Wait, give me one more. I need to check one thing. Thank you for this 40 months, Egumo. Thank you. My brain, I do not. My brain's like not fully here because I'm freaking. What do you call it? I haven't ate yet, and I'm getting like my brain's like slowly loading right now. But yeah, the next time I get to play the early access, and that's also sponsored, so I get to do that on the 6th. The puzzle though, I don't freaking know what I'm supposed to do with this. I'm gonna be honest, like. My brain right now, I don't think works, but I think... How do I even do this? I'm afraid of, like, breaking this, I'm gonna be honest. My brain is repeating the thick of it? Yeah, actually. What is this? There's this. There's these. Oh my god, wait, what the... There's, like, things you have to, like, press down and stuff. Bro, I'm definitely not paying attention to any of these. This is like something I would fidget with, I feel like. I'm brute forcing it? No, I don't want to break it. But, interesting. I mean, I see I have to put this in somewhere. Because this is what you start with. And I think it's over here, but... somehow gonna have to figure out. I'm definitely on pace. I'm afraid of like breaking these, because what if I break it and then it just all like it just freaking dies? Oh wait a minute, what the heck? Is this how you... Oh! I can pull this out, and then what? Do I pull it down? Question mark? What is this? You guys can't see what I'm doing, but... Oh, I'm stupid, it's this way. Duh. But... What the frick do I do with it? Do I pull it down? You looked at a VOD for another streamer this, and then how? Okay, so this has, like... You can pull this out, and then there's like the marking from like this. So I'm assuming the VOD might be 5 hours long. Oh nah. This is a guy who took. Wait, who is it? Can you name drop who you watched? I'm just curious. I didn't watch it, but he tweeted about it. Oh, I see. I'm kind of afraid of, like, well, you know what? I'm pretty sure I can figure out eventually. But my brain is not built for this right now. Ah! You know, I'll do it when I can actually show what do you call it? The bottom of my or when I have something to show my desk, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. Do I wanna? Is there anything else that I want? Oh yeah, I did see that there's a new Poke-Tune. I did see that people said it was really good. Dude, my stomach hurts, but I think it's because I had coffee on an empty stomach. I think I might need to use a bathroom soon. Thank you for the 32 months Porky thing, thank you. I guess we could watch this Poke-Tune. I guess. Dude, I just want my earbuds. Where the frick are my earbuds? They were supposed to come, like, the day of yesterday, but I checked my mail and it wasn't there, so I don't florp and know. Let's just watch this, and maybe if my stomach hurts, then I'll go. Wait, I know that. That's a freaking citrus berry, I think. Wait, it is shiny. It has blue eyes. Wait, he's hungry still. Are those asper? A spear? Asper? What do you even? How do you even pronounce that? Honestly, I don't even know. Asper. Is it asper or is it a spear? Probably just the wind. Wait, he's eating good! He got the sandwich. You know you're freaking hungry. Just eat up. How are they eating with no mouth? He's still hungry. Is this like a freaking sibling story? Wait, that's a freaking Rotom Dex. Blit. One's gonna evolve into Ceruledge and one's gonna evolve into Armor Rouge. I wonder which one will evolve into which, Clueless. Wait, is he gonna get captured?
Kimi?
You?
じゃあ勝負しよう。僕が勝ったらその子返してくれる？よし、行け。キノココ。
Shroomish. You just threw that on it. Beat him up. Frozen Shroomish against him. He's gonna climb up the tree. How do you freaking know? Let's go together. Wait, I got the berry for you. No, he left. No, he left him behind. And he drops a berry. Aww. No, poor little guy. How could he leave him behind? Eep. What in the floor? Oh, this is... That's not him! cry? Bro fell to his knees.
まだいけるな。
男敗退の技さばき流されんようしがみつけよ。よいしょ。
Hey, that's a 2v1. Oh, no damage. Uh-oh. Ouch!
はい、大さん。すみません。
息が良すぎるポケモンだい。
本当にすみません。うん。狙いを定めて攻撃するの得意なんだね。鍛えればすごい武器になるよ。だからカルボ、ちゃんとまっすぐ勝てるようになろう。
He's on his training arc. Cinema. Wait, that's fire spin. Bleh.
そこまで。うん。カルボ、おいで。さ、こっちだよ。うちで代々受け継がれてる鎧なんだ。これね、カルボーと関係があるって言い伝えがあるんだ。
He's got his berries. Eep. Ow.
主人公は正義感が強くて優しいカルボーでね。出会った頃の君とはまるで正反対だね。それで意地悪なゲンガーと戦うんだけど、優しいから戦うの。
Put him down. Wait a minute. Chills.
でもそんなカルボーも自分で未来を選ぶんだ。お、カルボー。
Oh my god, they evolve at the same time. Chills. Chills. Gengar's like, what the? Wait, he's freaking chill like that. Bro just freaking demolished him. Why didn't Slice in half? Because he's... because this is a children's cartoon. And he's a ghost. Check Discord? Okay. Oop. Wait a minute. Guys, my coast. I need to go back to the coast stream. Oops. Oopsie. Give me 1 second. Oops. Back to the stream.
You want to see everything? But, you know, it's up to you. Play at your own pace. See how you want to go.
I got in trouble. Actually, no, I'm not in trouble. But
we haven't been able to experience with Path of Exile 1, you know, or other games. And
let's put this back.
Actually discovering the entire world, and yeah, there's some familiar mechanics at the end game and stuff like that, which is awesome for people. But yeah, I certainly want to really. I'm very excited to see people discovering
twice,
and getting so excited about
I'm
it.
chilling.
I can tell you're amped for watching people go through that discovery process. I'm maybe even
diving
diving in yourself.
100%.
I mean, I love sitting there in Path of Building, as many
is this better?
as many of us do, but I am very excited for that.
Well, yeah, as we were saying,
discovery process for a while.
I think you were saying how much you were part spreadsheet. I think I was saying I'm like maybe 60% spreadsheet, 40% discovery, and there's my
might as well fit all the box.
You know, so
coming up with our player profiles, Timmy spikes and things like that.
I mean, I guess I could try.
With both of Exiled characters.
What they asked me to do,
the discovery
they would
part
not.
of me is ultra excited, and I'll mind you, that's coming from someone who kind of knows all the content. I'm still, because there's something different about making it versus actually playing it live with the players, seeing them discover it, uniques being linked in chat and on Reddit and all of that is just so cool. So we're gonna get a massive dose of that, and it is like genuinely exciting to just see how people are gonna think. You know, what's worth 1 chaos or what's worth 10 chaos, what's worth 100.
Knock on the broadcast? Yeah, should I do it?
We were arguing about this earlier.
I'm pretty sure that 1 C spam in chat might turn into 1 E, because like, you know, 1 exalt. No. That exalt is now.
I would not do that. I'm good.
People don't appreciate, by the way, like, so when we say we've increased, you're going to be getting multiple exalts in Act 1. In PoE 2, like we actually have increased.
I mean, I don't think that would get me in trouble because
I can see exalts becoming a new kind of like chaos.
Yeah, I think I actually agree. But we'll see.
I'm not gonna knock on.
It's a new economy, right? Like who knows? The market will have to.
Okay, let me see if I can fiddle with this box then. Okay, this.
Good fun.
I'm pretty sure.
So, do you have some kind of like beta release roadmap for updates and things like that for people to look forward to?
I mean, we certainly did have one 6 months ago. But now that we're sort of getting to release, it's like, oh my god, like, you know, we have to look at it. So, I mean, look, I don't think it'll be any less than 6 months. I think it could easily end up being more. I certainly don't want to. Look, 2025. I think. Really want to be, you know, full release in 2025. I don't.
I just took out all these.
That would be crazy. But I mean, honestly, like we have to get all the content finished and all that sort of stuff.
I know, I'm just
we always feel like we
something.
underestimate these things. And of course, we have to learn what we need to learn. We have to get the game to the point when it is really fun.
I do believe this is.
You know, we have to make sure that like all of the things, like, you know, we've got the difficulty right for all the players, we've got the economy right, like all the stuff. I mean, there's a lot of
you're allowed to
things that we're gonna.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to.
I kind of have a feeling that the
now
first
I
few
need
weeks
to
at least
figure
are
out
gonna just be scramble of like
where everything goes.
Oh crap! Someone like worked this crazy thing out, and we found this thing, and like, you know, that's always scary. You know,
scared of
just. When we had
what if I just broke this with my
sheer
force, my strength? I have been going to the gym recently.
But here it's like just complete new world, and we're the kind of game that has a lot of ability for players to do stuff that we wouldn't anticipate. You know, we have just the way support gyms work and everything like that. So there's certainly a lot of worry that like there's just going to be builds that are like completely ridiculous.
I'm not
that
strong.
Combining certain things in different ways we don't expect. You know, with hundreds of support gyms like that. So you know, that's going to be an interesting one.
It will happen.
Yeah, for sure.
It is inevitable, right? Like there's nothing we can even do about it because you need hundreds and thousands of hours of testing to be able to do that with.
You're supposed to break it with your brain. Yeah. Supposed to mind control
that's also
the box,
magic
I believe.
which is awesome.
That's why I was asking. Like, you literally really doing 12 classes and 36 ascendancies? Like actually?
Yeah, that's absolutely. We have we know what we want to do with
It's a
all
bit
that stuff.
unhinged.
It is a bit, but you know, we like a challenge. I mean, you know, the studio that produces a passive skill tree like we do clearly has a bit of a glutton for
I
punishment.
literally feel like a child.
You totally could have done 6 and
I
then
feel like
like,
this
oh
is
no,
my
added more
enrichment
later in the
activity.
expansion or something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could have. I mean, look, this is the plan. This is the plan. You know, I mean, like as you go through, as people go through early access, it's going to feel like there's just.
This is actually an enrichment activity for
because, you know,
the
we have all this stuff
elderly.
that we kind of, you know,
I mean, it's an
got
escape
some of the way-
room in a
a lot of the way
box.
through, so
Yeah.
there's
is
stuff
what
coming. I mean, look, I'm pretty sure. Like, I
you
really
know,
want to get the druid out. Like we announced it, we've talked about it. It's a lot of fun. You know, I'm keen to get that out there as soon as we can. You know, the huntress we've talked about
What
a
is
bunch about as
turning
well.
this
There's, like,
do?
yeah, those kinds of
Does it
things. I
even
think
do
will be,
anything?
you know,
Or
we'll
am
be
I
able
just
to
turning
move,
something on the
towards those
inside?
pretty quick. But you know, there's
The other thing you mentioned, talking roadmap like things, is we've always been. You know, it's hard to predict because a lot of what will happen is, and what we leave space for
wait a minute.
is
Is
reacting
this-
to what the players want.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you plan everything for so long, you're going to have very, very, very slow reaction times to fixing, you know, or adding certain content where there may, you know, maybe the issue is like, the campaign needs more
Putting
of this,
the
or this
box
class
back
needs more
together
of this, or
after I
something. So if
finish?
you're planning, then you're going to be delivering on what they want solved.
I don't remember. I don't
like
remember
a year
that
down the line, or
being
even longer.
part of the
and
thing.
where we like to remain very, very dynamic and like, you know, you want to be able to fix that stuff like, oh, well, this is the main problem. Like, sure, obviously you need more than a week sometimes, most of the time.
Ooh, and
But
then you can unlock.
we want it
What is
generally to be
this
that
side?
the next
What the floor?
releases, expansions, updates, whatever, can alleviate as many of those problems as possible. So, yeah, you try not to get too strict with the planning has generally been our philosophy, because especially when it comes to actually having the live service product out, because that is very, very important. Otherwise, you're never going to seem like you're doing what people want, and what are you doing if not that?
So that actually is a good point. Like I was going to ask, what do you folks, what do the team want out of the beta? Because obviously it's like a good way to market the game, but it's also
Is that a box? Yeah, it's a puzzle
key to
box.
shaping the game. So like an actual beta. It's not just early access.
I think one of the most important things is I think it's going to be really good for the development team to get back into a live mindset and like get it back into the idea of like everything we make is shipping.
Guys, I don't think I'm solving this.
Like get back into this, people are saying, you know, like actually getting back.
I'm
into
gonna
that,
be
and, like,
honest.
and like
I don't-
be
I
able to
don't
sort of
think
see
I'm- I don't
directly,
think
like
I'm solving
okay, we make
this.
something that goes in the game, people like it, don't like it, like that kind of stuff. Like,
I'm
and
not
that
sure
really,
what this
like,
means.
That has been our studio for like most of its lifetime. Obviously, we you know, before we released PoE1, it wasn't, but after that point, I mean, we are a company. Like we are a company that likes to think that we can.
It's
do
a
live
box.
service
How
better
hard
than
could
anyone
it
else. Like, that
be?
is our goal. And so,
I
like
mean,
getting
it's-
back
it's a
into
bit-
that again, you know, for the
it's-
entire, for everyone in the studio, so that
it's
everyone's
something.
working on things that are going to be releasing within, you know.
Did it give any hints?
certainly in
No,
less
it just
time
says
than,
start
than
and
3
that's
months
it.
away.
Unless if you
This-
could
this
go
is,
to
I think,
this
really
and then
good-
go
really
to
good
the
for us again.
site.
I look forward to.
There
just
is
being
a
able to do that,
site,
because
but,
these long term, like really long term things.
I don't know,
like,
I'm
that
just
span over
literally
years, it's
winging
like
it
goes so
from
long without
what
proper
it-
feedback, like so it gets made, and like
Yeah,
you know,
you-
it's not really in a real game, and so it doesn't get
Probably
tested
lose
properly.
perspective
And you absolutely lose perspective on this stuff.
Okay.
So I think that that's just going to be a really great to get back to that again.
They probably have a guide. I mean,
Honestly,
maybe
as you
that's
said,
what the site
it is
has,
early access,
but
it is a beta period.
I'm just
and
freaking.
I'd say, you know, personally
Is this
speaking,
no?
thing
The
that-
site
and
is.
we mentioned it briefly about the character balance and the builds that are broken.
I don't
and
know.
all
It says
that.
in collaboration
That's
with Puzzle
obviously
Potato.
Pretty useful to me.
And it says
right?
puzzlepotato.com
Plus we have other systems in
/POE.
there like, you know, the
So,
checkpointing system, right? You
I
have
don't
to
know
kill
if
the boss
that's,
in one life. You know, these are things we haven't mass tested, and obviously other games have, and they work, and that's awesome. There are other things like, you know, the end game system is a little bit less
I
forgiving
don't know
in
if
that
that's something
if you
I'm
die, you
supposed to
fail the
check
map,
or not.
right? These things
The site
are
has
things that we
hints?
obviously need to test and
Oh.
iterate on in the future by adjusting the difficulty
But, like,
and stuff like that. And you,
Wouldn't it
especially
be
as you
cool
get
if I
towards
just
this
figured
point
it out
of,
myself, which I probably
know,
won't because I'm
the end game.
dumb.
Like, okay, Act 1 has been tested like crazy.
Yep.
Right, and you get less
I'm
and less
on-
testing as it
I-
goes
I think
on
this
because
is
you
the
get
first part,
less
but-
people. You know, they've just been around for less time. And so, yeah, it's going to be a huge amount of iteration and feedback, and from the players and us just, you know,
have a
reevaluating
full
all the
guide,
stuff. And the
yeah,
thing is,
but-
we're always dynamic about that stuff. Like,
Wouldn't
we'll
wouldn't
just change
it
things if
just
it's wrong.
wouldn't
We'll
be cool
redesign
if
it.
you,
We'll come
like,
up with a new way.
you know?
Jonathan's a firm believer of if A doesn't work and B
I don't
doesn't work,
think
then
this
we'll
really
find C,
does
we'll find option C,
anything.
we'll find option D, and we'll keep changing things and we'll make it work. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of that iteration on
I need to
our
figure
design
out how to
decisions,
unlock some
how forgiving,
side.
because like the game is pretty hard. You know, it can be pretty hard, and so when you're on that fine
But I
line
don't know
of
if
like,
my
you know,
brain
things are
wants
difficult,
to,
you know, it's not
think.
too easy to know if you've tilted one way or the other. So, you know, finding what everyone agrees should be the common corrected difficulty is something that I will obviously be paying very, very, very close attention to.
Maybe I'm
Pretty
supposed
hard
to
thing
like
to nail down when you are making the
only
game.
have specific things in question
And
mark.
so we've seen
Like,
that
how
a
do
lot
I
where you
balance
folks
it
have
out? It's
been
like a-
pretty willing to change and then rechange and rechange again. Some of the core features like flasks and the waypointing system and portals. And you're keeping that kind of mindset going into the beta then?
Of course. I mean, look, we're always willing to change stuff. Like that flask thing.
Fine. I
like, the
mean,
most recent
I
change to
did
that was,
find
like,
start,
ultra
so
recent.
I did have
I
that.
don't, have we even
but
had like a closed beta of that yet? Was it, no, I think we haven't. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's way better than it was. Like it's things have improved a lot. And honestly, like that's one of those things we've been wanting to do something to sort out flasks for ages.
Yep.
And it really came about because when actually looking at what new players were having trouble with when they were playing,
how do I even?
Flask piano was actually like even from the very beginning of the game actually ended up being one of those things that like people just had trouble with just the
If I
manual
consider it a
dexterity required to like
I
hit all
believe
the
that
different
might
flask keys,
defeat the
and
purpose
then,
of this
like
box.
you have to know when one of your flasks has run out so you can move to the next one and like various things like that. Like all that stuff actually was like just a weirdly large amount of mechanical complexity right from the very beginning. And then even at in-game, I don't think it was really that satisfying either because you ended up with like, you know, just like having to press all these buttons all the time. And obviously it's all utility flasks that people are using at in-game.
Question
and then
mark.
we kind of tried to band-aid this in PoE 1 with the, you know, some of the flask automation stuff that was added there. But there was still this idea that that you're still more powerful if you don't automate. So therefore, you know, like it's like, you know, it's like there's that trade-off there. So
you're just more powerful if you get mage
a
block.
pen and paper.
Sure.
Wait, I'm not trying to use a pen and paper
Sure,
for
right.
this.
But you know, so the point is, effectively, the charm stuff that we're doing effectively means that you no longer the game is making that decision of like, you know, that stuff will be automated. You no longer have to do that like crazy flask piano to get the best, you know, the best out of your character. And I think that is definitely a step in the right direction. And the other thing as well is it actually makes the crafting more meaningful, I think, on the flasks, because when you've got like 5 slots, then like the individual mods and the individual stuff like seems to tend to not matter as much. I mean, obviously, you know, people want instant recovery and things like that, but you know, like but like now it's like the actual, it's much more meaningful. Like on your life flask, the choice between do I want instant or do I want way more like life, like that kind of stuff actually can be a lot more meaningful once you've only got one. So yeah, I think it is a lot better personally.
You have,
What I do after
we'll
finding
talk about
start,
the
I
flasks
started
since we're
fiddling
on the
with
topic.
this
You have,
side
locked in
because
effectively the fact
this
that there's
has.
no flasks right now, so that
I mean, it has
there's
the
always gonna be
same
enough flasks.
freaking
How does that
thing.
tie
So I'm
into
assuming
your design for mana,
at some
and are we
point you
always
pull
gonna
out
use a mana
this
flask slot,
part
or
and then you
if we
put
solve
this
another way,
in
what does
after
it do?
you probably
You can absolutely
unlock
solve it another
this,
way,
and
you just have a
then
flask slot that isn't doing anything for sure. But I think it kind of has
you
to work
could
that way
probably
because
unlock
we,
some of these
really
sides,
don't
which
want,
I assume, but
yeah, because like once you sort of start getting to
figuring that out, or the middle
I feel like
part,
the
I guess
system
you have
sort
to
of starts
find
to
a
break with
balance of
regard to, like, you know,
something, but
the feeling of like I know where mana
the
is, I know where
start
health is,
point,
like that
I
kind of
just
stuff.
I just
That
did
being
this,
said, you
and
know,
then
always
this
got
fell
uniques and
out,
stuff
so
like
I'm
that. I
assuming
believe there's already
I just went to that side. Question mark.
But the thing is, then that's a build
Thank you for the
choice that you're
18 months of
making,
anything,
so it's a
thank
little
you.
bit different. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, I think the system
But
as
I'm
it works now. is
pretty
just
sure
a lot
that's.
easier.
So it does sound like on the mana side
I
of
pass
things,
into
then there are gonna
holy
be multiple angles
chills.
of solving
It's a
mana
box
problems.
heavy?
Of course,
No.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be
because
flasks,
we've
spam.
got leech.
I mean, I'm not gonna throw it up in the air and break it, but you know,
we've finally got it right this time. So you know,
we're on pace on
and,
a
yeah,
3.
I think it works. I think it's
Hint
good. So I
3
think that leech,
out of 19 for puzzle 1
Yeah,
out of
well,
6.
I'm not gonna have to like crack
Yeah, I
out the
think
leech
this puzzle
diagrams
will,
for
yeah.
buckets and things like
I'll
that.
come
saying,
back
I
to
think,
it
I
at
think
some
that
time.
Leech might be. No, I think
Hello,
I was going
Unji.
to say Leech is one of the topics in the
Nah.
studio that has wasted the most designer time of anything in the industry. But I actually don't
If
think it's that. I think the actual
I could
worst
use my
offender
brain
is
cells
what
right now,
Action Dex
probably,
give you.
but
I think that is like the.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if my
there's
brain is capable of
there's
doing a
many
puzzle right
arguments
now.
about that.
I feel like that one's never come to the fore. Like we
No,
know about the leech one,
because the thing, but no one is happy about giving accuracy.
This will go
but
for
no one
another
has a
half
better
an hour,
idea
an
than what
hour.
accuracy that it can give.
I think
You know,
that.
like everyone's
Wait,
gonna
how
come up,
long
like, in chat a bit
was
that we
the
like saying, oh, you know, it can give this or this
regular
whatever.
part?
But
It was an
there's,
hour,
like,
right?
yeah, seriously. there's
Too
been
zooted to
endless
use
arguments
brain.
about that topic.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm
it's
freaking
outrageous.
so hot
Yeah.
now. I'm I have to just watch another 30 minutes.
You've got me
It's
thinking
supposed to
about
be
it
2
now.
hours, I believe.
I mean, speed would be good, but then
But no, I'm
much.
just,
Too
I
much.
just woke up, so.
Yeah, deck stacking speed.
We can get all the designers down here right now.
Yeah, I know. We'll just have it out again. We'll just have it out
My
again.
brain has no power because I'm freaking. I woke up, I had some coffee, but
sometimes you're just like.
I don't have
you
any
start
like
the day,
actual
like,
food
here
in
are
my
the problems we
stomach.
need to solve. And
I think
then
for
you're
the 4 months.
But then
no,
accuracy
it's-
on
I just
top.
think
no, it's 3 p.m. and we're still discussing dexterity.
Yeah.
So I go home, just make it accuracy again.
So I feel lightheaded.
Exactly. That is literally how it comes back to accuracy every time.
This is okay.
Yeah.
Rewinding a little bit, we can't forget our roots.
That's not
Of
good.
course. So
Wait, what
for
if
the
it is
PoE1
good?
enjoyers,
Brain running on a cup
what
of
is the plan for
coffee.
PoE1 during the course of this beta? Is there going to be leagues launching? Is it on the back burner?
I should treat
there
myself.
absolutely
I
will be
mean,
leagues
I think
launching.
I
Now,
have
can't, I
food.
don't know the exact date, but the plan is kind of late February.
I'm just kind of
But,
too
I mean,
lazy to
look,
eat right now.
We'll see what happens. I
Yeah,
will
you guys
admit,
can farm the drop.
Unfortunately, we did have to steal a few PoE
Now I have food.
resources just towards
I
the
just
end
have
here,
to.
which is
You know, I just actually
being a
have
bit
to.
unfortunate. I really wish we didn't
yeah.
have to. But yeah, as I said, we kind of
Eat.
underestimated some of the stuff. But
I think my brother
everyone
made
is gonna be going back to
some
PoE1 again
pork?
for
I
the
think
February
so.
for the
I could
February
eat
league.
that. Is
And,
mouthwashing
you
next
know, we're
stream?
gonna make sure that we can.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it's like a 2-hour game, so it's not like
and a short-term
that
project.
Yeah.
Is
long.
that you know, you've always had that thing of like you always want to work.
I
on
just
the
know
short-term
that
thing.
maybe
So now that we've
some
got two
people
short-term
might
things coming up.
get
I think it's going to be a
disturbed.
bit easier to prioritize in some respects.
But-
because, you know, it's like it's just like all that stuff is then you know is like coming up soon.
Friday night
So,
horror
but we'll see. We'll see how
could
it goes.
make it a
But, yeah,
little.
we need to get
Could
that
make it a
PoE1
little late
expansion
night
thing.
stream.
Yeah,
Is tomorrow
obviously,
arcade night?
You know, I just want to
No, I
always
thought
make
Arcane
it
comes
clear
out
that
on, like,
you know the reason
Saturday.
why things can't be so planned out is again we're just releasing this game.
Is it that disgusting? I don't think it's
obviously we pivoted to
disgusting. It just
endgame,
has
and then
like
that
it's like
needed more resources,
storytelling
and then, of
mostly.
course,
It's
combined
not
with
like
the fact
really
that, you know,
heavily gameplay.
things obviously change. There are unpredictable things in the environment
based,
we can't
but-
necessarily guarantee.
Yeah,
and
it's a
of course you
little.
have,
It can get a little
you
grossington.
know, Christmas
Yeah,
coming up
there
and
might
all
be
that,
some
right? There's so
triggers
many
in that,
variables to
so
consider,
maybe not for
But we also
everybody.
don't know how much time is going to be invested necessarily or need to be invested into live operations for post-release. How many problems are going to go wrong? How many builds are there? How many of
Wait, they have
uniques
the
are
puzzle in the
broken? How
middle
many,
of the
you know, and where
table.
do all
Can
these
they
resources
solve
go?
it?
There are like
Please.
just millions of
So I
variables
can
here to
follow
consider,
suit?
and so like it can
I
get
need a
very, very
tutorial.
difficult, especially at this time. But once
Just
you release,
sitting there
you have
menacingly.
a bit of a grace period, so to speak, where well, more like a period of extreme amounts of fire, where we're putting out fires
yeah, it's
everywhere.
grace.
But we have a period where we're fixing everything.
Yeah,
and
taking
everything's
5 hours
stable,
is
and
make.
then we're
I
gonna
mean,
be
it's
like,
supposed to
"Alright,
be an
let's
escape room
recalibrate, figure
in a
everything
box. I
out,
don't think it's supposed
and
to
what is our
be
plans, and then
something
establish
like
all of that, based also on the feedback we get from
super
that period
crazy.
where everything's on fire. Not to make it sound like it's gonna be bad, but that is the inevitability. Is there's always problems.
something
And
like
Hopefully
super
it appears
simple
good
to
from a player perspective,
you
but there's
know,
always gonna be
figure out.
there's always going to be like.
I think
oh
he
my
had his.
God,
He-
you know,
wait,
this, and
he
you're like,
had
yeah.
his.
You don't have to see all the fire.
Wait,
Yeah, yeah.
I need help.
Like ideally, the best thing is when we're able to fix some kind of exploit before people even hear about it.
Yeah.
And when I say exploit, I'm just talking about some broken thing. Like if we we obviously normally have to worry about like the whole mid-league nerf concept. But it's like if you can deal with something within like an hour or two of it happening, then it's like you're kind of.
Whenever you
okay
do
because,
open it, don't show the
you know,
inside. Wait, I'm not
everyone had a
allowed to
chance
show the
kind of, like,
inside on
everyone
stream because it's
swap
it's a
the code.
code.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be really on the
Oh.
ball for PoE2.
Okay,
just
but
because
what
there's
if
so
I
many
just
things
broke
going
it open
Well,
for the
I mean, look,
code?
we have
We're
several
doing the
bosses
code
with
first.
several elevators.
I just smash it and then
How
get the
many-
code
how
and
many
say
have you pushed up the
I
elevator,
solved
you know
it.
what I mean? Well, that's
I'll
what
try
I mean.
it.
When I say
try it out.
fire, I'm talking about bosses getting pushed up
Leak
elevators.
it?
Like, that's not okay.
Wait, but no,
Yeah, I
it's
am
I'm,
liking
pretty
my
I'm pretty sure it's a
mercenary
code for
flashbang knockback
me,
is very
not
fun.
for you guys. I mean, unless if you
Yeah,
wanted
you need
it,
to look
but
into that, by the way. The whole flashbang.
I feel like you gotta nerf my build.
hello,
Yeah,
Hyoon,
just
with
stay away
chill,
from
sup
my guys
already.
wobs.
Yeah.
No, these are the
I
fun
get to
things.
design?
Discovering
Wait,
that
that'd be
stuff
so
can very fun for
freaking
the players. It's
cool.
just internally, it's like, oh no, what are we doing? It can get a little bit panicky
Can I
after
call it
release,
the
you know, and
buh card
there's lots of things going
or
on.
the
You're like, oh,
freaking
geez, what do I
Glurm
solve first?
card?
But obviously,
Can
you
I
know,
name it
it's the
too?
same as PoE1.
Glurm?
We're good at it at this point.
Got some
you know,
experience.
yeah.
Belts. You aren't going to be torturing us with like releasing beta stuff at the same time as PoE 2 league launch, PoE 1 league launches.
Yeah,
Please, but well, I don't know if they, I don't know if they would take the name, but blur him on the loot filter. Wait, that'd be freaking
we
cool.
saw a cinematic. To put it lightly, it was pretty. That was quite epic, and I know has been cooking for quite some time, and that was pretty exciting. But we've also seen just a lot of story stuff happening in a much higher level than previously
eat a
now.
little
So
bit. I do
yeah,
feel a little
storytelling game here a bit.
Yeah, so we really want to make sure
lightheaded.
that the storytelling in PoE 2 is much better than what it was in PoE 1. Like, you know, there's a lot more kind of, I guess, like that kind of like stuff with the like the introductions to boss fights and the outros and things like that. Like all that stuff, we've just got a lot more storytelling going in. All of those things. We do have the intro cutscene. There's also
go over
kind of like
2
light,
hours for
like
this?
between the acts. There's these kind
yeah,
of like more
10
kind
minutes,
of motion graphic type cutscenes, just kind of establish things. And there might be some more surprises later on in the game as well. Not in early access, unfortunately. Later on that we can that you can see as well. But ultimately, we just want to make sure that like I think a lot of people who got through the PoE 1 story had no idea what was happening by the end. And so, effectively, we want to make sure that that is not the case this time around, that people really are able to absorb things. But one thing I will say, though, is that it's ultra important to us that we don't break the feeling that, like, when you're playing a second time, that it feels like we don't want it to feel annoying the second time.
We were talking about this morning. About you don't take the control out of the player's
Exactly.
hands.
So yeah, I'm personally a believer of the fact that if you just change, when you change the camera position for a cutscene, immediately it feels way more annoying. Like, because there's this whole thing of like if you click on an NPC and like the camera changes position, like sure, when you're playing through the campaign the first time, that kind of thing is like, you know, like that can be cool. But then if you're like playing through the, you know, second, third, fourth, fifth time, you want to be able to go to the NPC and go click, 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 and just get past, and without it feeling like you've had to sort of worry about anything. So yeah, like effectively, we want to make sure that it's still that we still have that, you know, because ultimately, you know, we're a game you expect people to play through many times. So ideally, we can kind of deliver both the situation where the first time you play through it, it feels like an amazing story that you're getting, that you're taking seriously, that you're understanding, that you know, there's like all those sort of touch points and you know, little you know, things just all through, while also maintaining the fact that if you know what you're doing, it's like you don't have to go talk to some quest giver just to get a quest. Like you can just go do the thing, you know, without having to talk to someone about it first. So you know, that kind of stuff is really important, just to make the, you know, that stuff work well when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, you said something this morning that stuck with me, where you said like Path of Exile is a game where the player's meta knowledge is allowed and encouraged.
Absolutely. So
you're
yeah,
allowed to cheat those quests.
Effectively, yeah. So effectively, there's what the character knows and there's what the player knows, and in our game, what the player knows is needs to be sufficient as far as like being able to progress the storyline. If you can, you don't want to have it so you just talk to an NPC just to find out something you already knew as a player.
Yeah, like if you know you kill this boss, you get the next area's waypoint. So you just like kill it, log out, log in, waypoint, right?
I love doing that.
Meta knowledge.
Sure.
Yeah. So you explained to me the other day the kind of the context for the beast and how that leads into the cutscene in the beginning of PoE 2 from PoE 1, and that I think helped put it in a lot more perspective for me and made me appreciate and understand what's going on with the story.
So effectively, what you're seeing in the opening cutscene is effectively the a new seed of a beast that is going to be is growing. Now in PoE 1, you know, the beast was killed. And then what happened in response to that is a bunch of all the gods in the world were able to, you know, effectively rise again. And you killed a bunch of them, but there are more, you know, in the world. And effectively, you know, we don't want to spoil too much about the storyline overall, but effectively, obviously someone here, you know, the Count is wanting to harness the power of the beast once again. And then we have the mysterious figure there who is saying, you know, no, don't do this. This always turns out badly.
There was a comment in chat that I loved that was like, "Stop opening Eldritch boxes."
Yeah, exactly.
Why do people keep doing this?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, if someone handed you a mysterious orb, wouldn't you press the button?
I mean,
there's a puzzle box.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to try, but who knows how many hours it's going to take me.
Indeed.
So we had a fun moment earlier where you were watching it and you were like, "Oh, we really need to rename that passive because he's a Karui and it's a wolf. It's called a wolf.
Great Wolf's Howl. And the Great Wolf obviously being
so he went out there.
Islamite history.
Started telling him.
I stomped out of the room. And I was like, "We need to rename that notable. He's Karui." And then I was kindly reminded that actually he was
An orphan who...
orphan and was adopted by a Ezomite and raised. And so, yes, there is a mixture of Karui and Ezomite background. And I was
So
like...
it works? You were wrong?
Fair enough. I walked back in here all sad and whatever. My bad. It's fine. The name
he
is
looked
good.
so chastised when he came back in. But that just, like... points to the fact that I feel like you're doing a lot more with the characters here.
For
You
sure.
even mentioned that ascendancy stuff is going to have an impact
Yeah.
story-wise.
So, like with
that's wild.
We just think a lot about this kind of stuff. So the acolyte of, I always get this name wrong. The acolyte of is it Chalula? Chayula. I always say this wrong. The acolyte of Chayula, for example. So that we have this sort of storyline with the origins of the monks, where there's like an order of monks who worship a thing they call the Dreamer, and the Dreamer is actually Chayula. So they don't know this.
Okay.
They're effectively worshiping a breach demon. So the acolyte of
Fed all the
Chayula is
pets.
effectively you embracing the
Feeding
fact
myself.
that I'm worshiping a breach demon. I'm just going to go all the way.
I'm in too deep now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Matt, thank you.
Do it. So there's a lot of thinking like that goes into
Wait,
these
can I
things,
have
what is
some?
the history of these people? Like because
Yeah,
I
just
think a lot of
like
that stuff
some
inspires
stir-fried pork
interesting
and some
mechanics
rice.
as well. So, for example, on that one, you've got that into the breach skill,
Yeah.
which kind of means you're always in a breach all the time. You can see the things going on. Like that stuff is. I think that there's a lot of cool inspiration there. So coming up with that storyline stuff for that stuff,
There's a couple other little things that I think is cool as well, and hopefully people will notice and pay attention to. So there's one of the bosses that was shown as uses a lot of time or chronomancy, and interestingly, if you are a sorceress and you ascend to chronomancer and you then go to fight that boss, if you, for example, try to use time freeze, the boss is like, that doesn't work on me, and has a dialogue line, and if you cast temporal chains on them, he's like, just puts it back on you, and it's like, and so there's interesting things like that, and it doesn't like change things on a grand scale, right? It doesn't make a certain class not viable or anything like that. But there's this interesting little quirks and quips everywhere. Different bosses have different intro lines depending on what class you're playing. They have different skill
I need to look
lines
at the Steam
sometimes
sale. There's like
depending
the
on what
Steam
class you're
sale on
playing.
like cooking games.
We've got different dialogue all through the campaign for different classes, like the sorceress.
And I want to
obviously from
look
the
it up.
Marraketh when she
It's
goes
over?
back to the Marraketh. There's kind of a backstory
No,
there
I
of how she
literally
was
looked at
banished
it like
originally.
2 days
So,
ago.
she
I didn't
needs
know
to
it was
find a way
over.
she needs to be
Sad.
accepted back into their culture again. Like we've got things like
I mean,
the
I
character
guess
we
I
talked
could
about
still
earlier.
look at the cooking games,
so the
though.
warrior, was an orphan. He was brought up
And
by
it 2
actually
days
one of the
ago?
NPCs
Oh
in
my
Act 1
freaking
town.
gosh.
So obviously there's a whole different dialogue there because he's effectively his adopted son. We've got things like that. There's a lot of thought that's gone into
Yeah, I thought
trying to
you
make
don't
it feel like
refund
all
it.
these character
I
classes
don't
have
refund many
some
games.
level of involvement with the world. They didn't just come into existence the moment that you.
The only games I actually refund are like
Other little
the
things,
ones
so,
that I
like,
know
more on the narrative side.
I
You
would
obviously saw the
never
world
touch
map, You have
again.
the icons that show different things that are in each act, like all the things you want to explore
Such a
or
good
find
idea.
and go. Yeah, awesome. But each of them also has a little bit of a kind of a little bit of text on them as well. And like, for example, there's one in one of the first areas in the game that's just like a camp of Iron Count guards. And
when I opened the store,
we showed it in a trailer
featured
with
and
the Ranger
recommended
class
Path of
trailer we
Exile
did,
2 pre-purchase now, top
whenever it
seller.
was.
Chill.
You saw the ranger kill some of them because they were trying to like hurt a child. And the child was just trying to get some
Papa's
food.
Pizzeria
And
Deluxe
the
on
ranger
Steam?
just like snipes them with arrows and kills them
Wait a
ruthlessly.
minute.
And so you read this thing and you're like, you hear whispers of an Iron Count, scouting party that was slain by a rogue archer or something like that. So you
I
get
did
these
play
little
it,
things
like,
where
once
you're
on
like
stream,
connecting
but
all the
only,
little
like,
dots, and
for a
even
really
that
short
you
time.
absorb a little bit of interesting little information. You've got other things, for example, when you enter an area, it not only says the name at the top now, it has almost a subtitle text that's giving you a
Are you
little...
guys playing Binding of Isaac?
And these little things like
How
somehow
come?
make the world building feel
Do you not have Mario
much
Party
better.
today?
And when you approach certain landmark rooms and you walk into them, you'll get a banner at the top as well, which says what it is and gives again a little bit of a
An
thing.
online
All these
multiplayer
little
update? Oh, that's cool.
narrative delivery mechanisms like make you
Pumpkin
feel way
Panic?
more
What
immersed
is
in the
Pumpkin
world
Panic?
and way more aware of what's going on and way more connected to your character, way more connected to the bosses, to the NPCs. There's a lot we're doing now that we certainly never did before. We didn't even think of before. But yeah, it's
I like that
awesome.
a lot because like as an action RPG gamer, I don't really care too much about
Free.
plot,
What is this?
but I do want a really cool world to be.
It's a cozy
blowing monsters up.
farm
And basically, it's
game.
like I want the characters to be cool, I want the
Oh, this
baddies
looks
to be
kinda
cool,
cool.
and I want like the things happening around
Add
me
to
that
library.
build out a bit of that story without me having to stop killing stuff.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's more of that going on as well, which is great.
There's
Well,
tons. There's
the baddies being cool. I mean, that's how we almost designed an ascendancy class in here just before we were
What else
watching
is on
the
the
trailer
store?
earlier.
Home.
So what you were
9 seconds left
saying a
before it
shadow.
showers.
You
Okay.
came up with a shadow ascendancy.
Yeah. Internally we had some developers watching the trailer yesterday, getting excited.
It came
about
out,
it,
yeah.
and
I was like,
wanna
it says I could play the
that-
game,
I
so I'm
wanna
pretty
play
sure I
that
can
character.
play
I
it.
want to be that character.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That like kind of Val Thaumaturge type character, and so like
Cool.
all
It's
of
not
a sudden
spooky
it's
month
like,
anymore,
we
but I
should
could
make that
play
a
some
class.
spooky games.
And then we had another guy like suggest it should be a shadow, and so
Spooky
now I'm
themed
like, oh
games.
yeah, we're definitely come on, we have to do a Val Thaumaturge
Yeah,
like shadow
sick.
ascendancy. Like that's gonna be cool. And you can do awesome things now. Even I know it's hard to see because you hide it under all the armor, but you can do things like, you know, with our character classes, just due to the upgrades and models, where all of a sudden now the character can have tattoos added to
now
them and stuff
farming
like that
one?
is completely feasible in the future. And like, I want to do a lot more of that stuff. Like for the there's little things like for the Warbringer, I think was the class name on the warrior. When you take that ancestral totem node, all your totems now have like an extra blue glow to them, kind of like enhanced by this ancestral magic. And what we also want to do is add tattoos as well that like glow blue when you're using certain skills and all that. So
After
heaps of
this
little
is
things
done,
that again
we can
connect
finish up
all
the
the culture
Pokemon
and
short.
all that stuff together and make you feel
And then,
like
yeah.
you know it's
We'll
believable
see.
as opposed, and this is a character as opposed to this is just a mechanic, and you know
Makes picking an ascendancy more epic. I know that there was a part in the trailer that was like not fully finished where you
Yeah,
ascend and it doesn't really do anything, but I know you want it to be like a cool moment where some power
It's 2
goes
hours
out.
now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We just hadn't finished
Okay,
with the VFX
yippee.
yet.
Yeah.
even the another one, the Blood Mage.
Got
when
it.
you like, you know, play
It's
the
so
Blood Mage,
funny
now
because
you get an additive surge on your character whenever you cast
they didn't
spells. You're getting, like,
specify
almost
that it had to
bloodbending
be
kind of
2
vibe
hours.
going on, and like
Drawing it from their
Yeah.
veins.
So I was
and
like,
sending it in a
Irma.
fireball.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Real cool.
Yeah, you can have like the tattoos get
But
tattooed
it's-
on them
it's
as they
okay.
as they ascend and things like that.
Or
that
they
just
said it's
makes
fine, so-
taking ascendancy way more cool.
That's a
which
new
is already, I think. I'll
Thanks,
almost feel like
you
ascendancy is more
don't
important
cut
than
her pay.
classes for
I don't
players
think they
kind of
will.
like feeling the vibe of what they want to do with their character. Like,
For sure.
Okay,
'cause
let's
our-
go
I mean,
back
the classes are pretty open.
to
You can
this.
play whatever skills, whatever
Boom.
weapon. Sure, you're on a passive tree at a start point, but
Done
you
with
know, by high level.
watching. Hopefully some people got the drops. Your immersion was broken while... Oh well. I'm back to watching this while I eat. My enrichment.
意気込みのほどはいかがでしょうか。
そうですね。
How could he just freaking leave his brother in like that
すご
though?
く強くなりました。僕も負けないくらいいいバトルがしたいです。
ありがとうございます。
誰かのまだ次の試合時間じゃないぞ。
Wait, a challenger has approached. Are the English subs? They're not out. He literally said, "What is his aura?" Chills.
反応が変だ。グレンアルマの動きが読まれてる。動きを止めるんだ。炎の渦。
No! He just got caught in the crossfire.
グレンアルマ
He recognizes him. Is that you?
So.
The red dude looks lame. Okay, I mean, Ceruledge does look cooler than Armor Rouge. Can we get this animation for Blue Lock Season 2, I beg? I heard, yeah, the Blue Lock animation is... I mean, I've seen some clips on my feed where it just looks like a slideshow. Yeah, this is a Poketoon. Bleh.
悪いポケモンをやっつけた。
クレーアルマかっこいい。お手柄ですね。
I mean, he didn't freaking do anything.
僕たちにはわからないよ。
Wait, they're both laying on the ground together.
So. Ano-sa. ソーブレイズ。君も一緒に来る？すごく仲がいい。
Wait, he's asking him to join him.
So.
Nah.
そうか。
Wait, that's kind of based of him, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. That's pretty cute. Let's see what people commented. I'm watching this before any English subs have been made. It's amazing how much of the story can still be followed and deeply felt so deeply, and even with the language barrier. This is truly an amazing short. Oh my freaking gosh. Cinema. I should respond to that guy. Let's see what people said. Same facts, yeah. Love these episodes, same. Wait, you can do... Should I comment this? I'm still watching in 2024. Please post it. No, I'm good. I'd prefer not to. I'll give that an update. If I commented, you guys have to like, comment, subscribe on that comment. But no, I don't think I will, actually. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Am I caught up with Danada? Yeah, I am. Is there a new episode today or something? But I did watch the episode 7 or something. Oh, that was pretty good. It made me feel a little emotional. Me and Arya watched it together and we're like, sad. But okay, actually, I want to check if my audio cable is here. My stomach hurts. I think I need to use the bathroom. So I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for the 5 months, Jay Craig. Thank you. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe a little later than usual. A little later than usual, aka like an hour later. Maybe like at 8 or like 9 o'clock p.m. CST for me. So that's like 6 or 7 p.m. PST, or, you know, wherever. But, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye! Bug bus butt.